Stand up, everybody. Welcome back. We are here for our annual Monday night call-in show. What is going on? Game of 500,000. Caesar Munoz in the house. Jeffrey in the house. Kid Blue in the house. Royal in the house. Caesar Rogue Dog. William Hortzman. Patriots Goat in the house. Christopher Columbus in the house. MH, what's going on, my man? The Sexy Goat. Stand up. Umcar in the house. Ligman in the house. Dog Tag in the house. Joe Lutz. Nelson. Scott Thomas. Big Blue. Stuck in the 80s. Spotlight Sports, my God, you guys are the best. Imbert, the great in the house. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We got a lot to talk about tonight. I'm going to be taking calls in around 5 or 10 minutes. Of course, today, I know I have a lot of football subscribers, and we will, of course, get into football talk. I'm sure you guys will call in. The big news on the New York docket, in my opinion, has got to be Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis demands a trade from the New Orleans Pelicans. And the Knicks are one of the 2 or 3 favorites to land him. Everybody thinks the Lakers are probably going to get him. But when you look at what the Knicks can offer, I can argue the Knicks potentially could offer more than anybody else if they get the number 1 pick. But we don't know what pick they're going to get. And we don't know if the Knicks are going to be willing to give up that pick. But if they could get the number 1 pick, there is not a more valuable asset in the sport. Based on how much you're going to pay the number 1 overall pick, you're going to end up paying them $8 million, $9 million a year on a 3 or 4 year basis, compared to paying somebody a max contract. So having that number 1 overall pick is extremely valuable. And if the Knicks were willing to part with that, I truly believe they'd potentially be in the running for Anthony Davis. I don't know if they'd be willing to do that. Me personally, I would not. But it is an interesting topic of conversation. J-Dog, what's going on, my man? MH in the house. KP and other... I'd be willing to do KP. I said that in my video. Nations, man. Nations, for sure. I will go back in and give you a mod after the show. Steven Mendez in the house. What's going on, my man? Entertain, I just disagree. Trading. You wouldn't trade KP? Yeah, that's fair. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's just my opinion. Of course, you'd have to prove that he was healthy before the trade was even possible. He couldn't finish the year not playing. You wouldn't be able to trade him then. My 5 possibility options for Davis is the Bulls, Knicks, Lakers, Celtics, and Heat. Now, I don't know how accurate it is. What's going on, Buster Cherry? I read before I went live that he ruled out the Celtics. That may be false information. It may be fake news. But from what I read, the Celtics are not in the running. But I could be wrong. Fox87, what's going on? By the way, please sub up Fox87. He's always really nice. Sub up Spotlight Sports, too. He's got a really cool channel going on over there. We are talking about all things sports. This show is always going to be an all things sports show. Anybody could always call in. I'm always going to start it off with the hot New York topic of the day. And today it's Anthony Davis. There's no doubt about it. It's got Knick fans happy. It's got Knick fans excited. I mean, any time that you, even if it's a 5% chance, to have the possibility of one of the top 3 to 5 players in the sport landing on the New York Knicks at the age of 25, he could change the franchise. So even if it's a small, minute possibility, it's exciting to think about. Eric Donahue, what's going on? MH says Dolphins. Pelicans want Lonzo, Kuzma, Zubac, and a first for AD, though. See, Caesar, I am going to say, and again, I wouldn't do it if I were the Knicks, but if the Knicks got the number 1 overall pick, I think that's more valuable. The number 1 pick is so valuable because Zion Williamson, and people have their disagreements. Some people think he could be one of the top 5 players in the sport. Some people think he's overweight and he's one-dimensional and he's, got to develop a jump shot and they don't think he'll be better than a top 15, 20 player. But if the Pelicans feel this guy's going to be a top 5 player and you could pay him $8 million for 4 years, he's more valuable than every guy you just mentioned. So that's why I think the Knicks are in the running if they're willing to part with that draft pick. Sean Rosas in the house. What's going on? Afghanistan in the house. Gangrene in the house. The Sexy Goat. I don't want the Lakers to trade some pieces. You're going to have to if you want Anthony Davis. You're going to have to. What is your best NFL theme song? CB, I got to go... I'll go Fox, but I don't like that robot. AD to what's going on? All right, guys, I am going to open up the phones. Colby has a soda. David from Colorado's in the house. Sub him up. Anybody that is new to the channel, please hit that like, hit the subscribe, ring the bell. We're going to open up the phones in a minute. I want to thank everybody for tuning in Monday night. I'm going to try to... You love the robot? I'm going to try to do this every Monday night going forward and one night on the weekend. I'm not sure what night. But the weekend show is going to be shorter. The Monday show is usually going to be about 2.5, 3 hours. I'm not taking calls yet. Once I open up the phones, you guys could start the call. I have not opened up the phones yet. But I'm going to try to Thank you so much, Joe Musa, for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. You are the man. I'm going to try to do this every Monday, and then either Friday or Saturday for about an hour and a half. Mondays are going to be longer, about 2.5 hours, because that's what my schedule allows me to do. But here we go. Gangrene, there's your shout-out, my man. The number is up, and I will start taking calls now. 914-481-3540. Whatever you want to talk about. You want to talk Knicks, you want to talk Mets, Giants, Jets, Yankees, whatever you want to talk about. Broad sports, whatever you want to talk about. All right, we got a caller calling in. What is going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in. Hello, who's... Nelson, Nelson, big Knick fan. What's going on, buddy? By the way, I don't mean to cut you off. I see callers calling in. Again, guys, I'm going to say it again. I don't have a call hold feature. I say this every show. And I think I'm starting to lag, so I'm going to switch the cameras. And I see 770 calling in again. I'm not answering the Patriots for life. I know it's you, and you're probably switching into that Patriots guy. I'm not answering the number. But, 1 second, guys. I'm going to switch to the poor camera. Yeah, I just want to switch this over here because it seems to be lagging there. But, yeah, so anyway. I know you're a big Knick fan. I know you're probably excited. And, oh, by the way, let me just say it. I don't think I got a chance to say it. Don't call in while I'm on the phone. I don't have a call hold feature. I'm working on it. Probably within 2 weeks it will be. I'm going to have a better system. But for tonight, don't do it. Anyway, back to you. So what do you want to talk about? I'm assuming the Knicks. Big news today. Oh, 1 second. I'm sorry. They can't hear you. That's right. I got to switch the volume preference. I made the same mistake last time. Sorry about that. You should be able to hear him now.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and talk.
I was talking about the Giants. What we need at the quarterback. I think we need a backup.
You think you need a backup quarterback? For the Giants?
I mean, I should say, having the backup for the future.
So you mean you want the Giants to draft? You mean you want the Giants to draft a quarterback? That's what you're saying.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Well, a lot of Giants fans would tell you it's a necessity in this draft. I don't necessarily think it's a necessity. They may be willing to. They have to take a quarterback within the next 2 drafts for sure. Some Giants fans think it needs to be this draft. Who would you take if you were taking a quarterback? Who would you like?
I will have the Haskins stuff.
You like Haskins?
I will have Haskins.
You like Haskins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, out of Ohio State. What do you like about him?
He has strength he has this type of strength. So I think he could fill up big numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, very good stuff, man. Anything else you want to talk about?
The Knicks.
And what do you think about this potential trade? What would you be willing to part with Kristaps Porzingis?
I will be okay.
You'd be okay with it?
I will be okay that if Porzingis could start the rest of the season, maybe not.
All right, interesting stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Knicks do. Everybody seems to think the Lakers are the favorites, but I won't count the Knicks out. I mean, he's been rumored to wanting to be a Laker, so we'll see how it plays out. I know I got a few people trying to call in, so I'm going to let you go. I'll let you call in later in the show. Probably around 9 o'clock I'll be taking second calls, but I want to thank you for being a great subscriber, and I hope you continue to listen in.
I'll make a call in case there's nobody calling.
I'm sorry?
I can make a call in case nobody calls anymore.
Yeah, people are going to call, but if they stop calling, you can call.
Okay.
All right, man. Have a good one. All right. Next on the line, what's going on? You're live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
What is going on? It's Joe Musa.
Joe Musa, thank you again for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. Big Jet fan. What's up, buddy?
Anytime, man. You and Rover are great.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I love doing that show with Rover. I'm going to try to work with Rover more often. I think I'm going to have him on the channel later this week.
I was just making jokes with him yesterday. I hope he didn't take me all, serious and stuff.
Oh, no.
He looked like he was getting all emotional.
No, Rover's got a good sense of humor. That's just his personality. So what's
so
up, man?
I just got to watch your Giants Bears live stream, from last year, from December.
When I got obliterated?
Oh, my God. That shit was amazing. But you kept bringing up the point about Giants fans hating Manning. And me as a Jets fan, I'm surrounded by Giants fans here.
Right.
I would argue with them and be on Eli Manning's side.
Yeah, no, it's true. I always say it. I feel like there's more Giants haters in the Giants fan base than outside the Giants fan base. I really feel that way.
It's crazy. I'm here 33 years suffering without a Super Bowl, and they're the bad-mouthing Manning, and I'm on his side.
Yeah. It's true.
It's fucking crazy.
I always say Eli Manning's the pinata of the NFL. And it's outside fan bases, too. People pick on him because of his silly face and everything. But Giant fans have grown.
Who cares?
At least 60 to 70% of the Giants fan base at this point, I feel like, loathe Eli Manning, which is crazy to me because the guy won his 2 Super Bowls. And I know that it's getting to that point where they need to move on. But the Giants fans actually hate this guy.
He brought you two Super Bowls. Wasn't he MVP twice?
Well, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. And you know what it is? I feel like if the shoe was on the other foot, if a quarterback won the Jets 2 Super Bowls, you guys would be building statues. You would let him play till he was 60. But Giants fans...
Oh, my God. Forget about it.
Yeah, Giants fans kind of have the mindset similar. And I know that I'm a...
Fans,
go ahead.
If he was a Jet bringing us to the Super Bowl, fans would be going down on him.
But I compare it to the... Because I'm a Met fan, so it's kind of similar to being a Jet fan. Same thing with the Mets.
Well, yeah, same here.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Mets. If you know, like the Yankees fans were looking to get rid of their manager, and he won them a World Series in, 2009? They wanted to get rid of Girardi after they made the playoffs. If we had a manager getting us to the playoffs every year, we'd be jumping for joy. QC, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. But it is what it is. I mean, I recognize as a Giants fan that it's time to start looking at other options. But I just don't like when Giants fans go out. Like, I'd be doing live streams. And I remember I did the game where he went 17 for 18 against the, I forgot who it was against. It might have been against the Bears. No, it wasn't against the Bears. But he had a game where he went 17 for 18. I can't remember the game off the top of my head. And the one incomplete pass, people in the chat were ripping him to shreds. And I said, listen, the guy's 17 for 18. What are you doing? So it's like,
crazy.
If the guy doesn't tie his shoes right, people want to jump on him. Which is why I'm nervous if we draft a Dwayne Haskins and we keep Eli. People are going to want, they're going to want to kill this guy the second he throws an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
But
by the way, I just want to put it out there that the last time I spoke to you, I think it was yesterday, you said that I'm a Nets fan from New York, but I'm actually I'm a Nets fan from New Jersey.
Oh, you're from
I started liking them. Then. I started liking them when they were New Jersey Nets.
That makes sense then. I feel like half their fan base. Actually, what am I saying? Half. I feel like 90%. I live in Brooklyn.
I'm from Jersey.
I think I've seen 2 people with Brooklyn Nets gear on in Brooklyn. Since I've been living here, and it's definitely the majority of their fans live in Jersey.
Wow.
Which makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
I think you should drink more Johnny Walker when you're doing these streams. That was great, man. I love that Jets Bears live stream.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Giants Bears live stream.
Yeah, I got way too drunk for that. That's the drunkest I've been on camera.
That's awesome, dude.
For the Super Bowl, somebody requested I drink Honey Jack, so I'm probably gonna drink that for the Super Bowl. That's gonna be a Bad Dogs channel, but I'm gonna be on his channel for the Super Bowl.
I was just about to say you and Bad Dogs should get wasted for the Super Bowl, but I'm not. I might not be able to watch that one, which is gonna suck because I might be going over a friend's house. So
you can always
I'll watch it later on.
Yeah, you can always watch the replay, and then Bad Dogs gonna.
I like it live. I like it live though. Interacting with you guys.
Of course, live is always a lot more fun for sure.
Yeah.
But he's going to be on my channel for the draft, so that's what we're doing. I'm going to be on his for the Super Bowl. He's going to be on my channel for the draft.
Yep. Well, I don't want to keep you on too long because I know other people want to call, so stand up, New York Jet fans.
Best. Thank you so much for the call. All right, so there's a good caller to start off the day there. Enzo, what's going on, my man? Colby says it's buff. Yeah, I'm trying my best. It buffers. You're still going to hear my voice. I can't help that it's buffering. The internet, for some reason, drops in and out. But the voice always seems to come in, which is the important thing. What's going on, Stephen Lloyd? Thank you for tuning in. Hello, you're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in. All right, he dropped off. Hello, you're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
White chocolate!
What's going on? Who's this?
Isaiah.
Isaiah. I love Isaiah. What's going on, my man? A big Knick fan. So what do you think, Isaiah, about this this Anthony Davis situation?
Hey, I can just say one thing quick, Anderson. My father loved you, man. He loved everybody. Thanks for welcoming him in, man.
Oh,
I had a great time with you, man.
yeah,
Great time, man.
Yeah, your dad was the best. I met Isaiah a few times. By the way, sub up nothing but Knicks. I went to the Knick game with Sim from that channel, and Isaiah and his father were there. Had a great time. Got to go on the court, take a couple of pictures on the garden floors. Great experience. And I don't know if you've talked to Sim. He's actually organizing. I should tell my subscribers this if they're interested. He's organizing. I don't know when it's going to be or if it's going to happen, but he told me he was in the process of organizing us actually getting to play on the garden floor.
Oh, I'm down for that, man. I'm down for that.
Yeah. I think he said it was going to be about 150 a head, but you'd get the game and you would get to play on the garden floor.
Oh, I'm down for that, man. I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
Back to Anthony Davis. I'm not gonna lie to you. Chris. I'm a little scared of. It's reminding me of 2010 again. It's
Carmelo, you mean?
A little bit, because here's my thing. Of course, I love to get AD. There's been few blips in NBA history where a top 5 player becomes free.
Right.
It doesn't happen. It's a blue moon, and when you do, you throw the farm at them. But my thing is with the Knicks is if we swap out KP and Knox and Frank in the first round pick, that's a lot. That is a lot, and I understand Anthony Davis.
Well, yeah. Well, is that the rumored trade? Is it? Wait, so let me go over this. Did you hear that, or is that just what you think it would cost?
Well, I didn't hear that, but I think that's what it would cost. My opinion.
I'm going to give you 3 options. You tell me if you would do any of these trades. Say we get the number 1 overall pick. Would you give up the number 1 overall pick for Anthony Davis? Straight up.
Yeah, straight up. Oh, God, yes. Heavens, yes.
See, I wouldn't.
Oh, would it?
Because the reason being is the number 1 overall pick, you're going to pay a guy like a Zion or whoever $8 million, where you're going to be paying Anthony Davis $40 after 1 year. So I feel like that $8 million is so much more valuable to be playing. If you believe in Zion Williamson, which most people do, I think paying him $8 million is so much more valuable than paying a guy. Even though I love Anthony Davis, I think he's the best player in the league, or he's one of the best players in the league. I just feel like if you having the ability to pay Zion $8, you then still have the ability to bring in a max with him. Where if you trade that and for Anthony Davis, that takes up your salary cap space. So I wouldn't.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, because that is true. Because then and don't forget, we got to still pay KP.
That's what I'm saying.
KP is going to be almost a $30 million player himself. So yeah. I do understand what you're saying. And again, me.
What were you gonna say?
Zion, I believe in Zion.
Yeah,
I believe in Zion.
I know that you're a big Zion guy, and the other trade I was thinking would be probably a KP, and then a future first, not this year's first, but like say 3 years down the road. I could see something like that, and then I could see a trade where we give away like 3 first-round picks, but we keep KP in this year's first-round pick, and we give away guys like Frank and guys like that. But the other 2 I think I'd be willing to trade. I wouldn't give up this year's first overall pick if we got it though.
Yeah, no. I totally agree with you on that, because like I didn't see it that way. I saw it in the way give up. But you're right, man, because if we get Zion or maybe RJ Barrett, that's $8 million, and that's and we can use that, especially with.
I mean, if those guys are as good as people say, you're essentially paying a max player $8 million for his first 4 years of his career, instead of paying premium $40 million a year after they have been in the league for 4 or 5 years. It's almost like at the NFL when you draft a quarterback and they're on that rookie contract. You have the ability to build the team around them until they hit free agency, and then they get the big deal. So I think it's so valuable to have that number 1 overall pick.
No, you're absolutely right. I got a great feeling this year we're going to get it. So I got a great feeling we're going to get the number 1 pick. So you're right, man. I wouldn't do that. And you know what, man? I was talking to my father about today. If you want to come to New York free. I'm tired of trading for these guys, and we gotta ship our whole team out. If you want to play in New York, like every pro athlete ever says they do, come to New York, man. Just if you want to play for us, man. I'm tired of just always trading our future for a guy to come here.
Yeah, I get that. I know Knicks fans are going to be reluctant to do it because we got screwed the last time we did it with Melo, and it's a fair concern. I mean, the Knicks handled that horribly. The signing of Amari was a horrible signing with his knee problems and all that. And then the Carmelo trade, we should have never traded. We should have waited, like you said, and that set the franchise back. We gave away draft picks. We gave away players that could have helped us in the future with the Wilson Challenge, the Danilo Gallinari's, and came back and bit us.
Yeah, man. I know other people want to call in, but I just want to say, man, Chris, you're the best. You have one of the best channels on all YouTube. If you're not subscribing, I will fight you. You brother, I'm gonna see you soon one of these days. I know it. And me and you gonna play in the Pro Bowl next year because that was horrible.
Yes. Oh God, forget about it. And I hope next year when I organize the Giants get together, I hope to see you there.
Oh, Chris, you got me and my father locked in already, so you're good to go.
All right, my man. I'm sure we'll talk soon. Have a good one.
See you later, man. Be good.
You too. All right, let's see. Is Lucas Milk in the house? What's going on? Stuck in the 80s. Good. I just took a Goose 76. What's going on, Mo? Gangrene David in the house. Oh, Gangrene, rather. Cushman in the house. What's going on? Crazy Mofo. Just waiting on some callers. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hello, you're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Yo, what's up? It's Mr. Gooner.
Mr. Gooner, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just want to
what do you want to talk
about your video from earlier about how Kyler Murray, you felt about him.
Right.
Now I more agree on what you're talking about, but do you think there could be any players that you could get to help fit with his style?
Well, yeah. I mean, are you talking about specifically the quarterback position, or are you talking about in general?
Like, say you drafted him in the 6th pick, or I think it was 6th pick. Do you think there could be, like, any certain positions that you could get to help boost his overall performance, like guards and stuff?
You're saying if we took Kyler Murray?
Yeah, say you took Kyler. Do you think, like, you could probably get some more offensive linemen to help boost him so he wouldn't always have to be running all the time?
Yeah, well, no, the reason that I think he's going to have to run has nothing to do with our our offensive line is not that good. I think they're going to try to address that in free agency and the draft. We need at least one really good offensive lineman in this offseason, whether it be the draft or free agency. But I don't think it's because of the pass rush where I think he's going to have to scramble out of the pocket. I think it's his height. I think a quarterback who's 5'9", and that's pushing it. He might be 5'8.5". I know he's listed at 5'10". There's no way he's 5'10". I just feel like he's not going to be able to make a living in the pocket. Now, will he be able to make some throws in the pocket? Sure. But at least half his throws are coming from outside the pocket, and that's what worries me. Because when a guy like that rolls out of the pocket, yeah, he's going to make plays. He's going to make great plays. But in the long run, he's going to take a hit. History shows quarterbacks that play outside of the pocket get hurt. And that's the reason why quarterbacks traditionally play in the pocket, because that's the safe place for a quarterback.
Yeah, so as you were saying before, the Giants scheme goes with, like, the coaches are saying 6'4", 6'5" quarterback.
Right.
They probably, like, I don't really know any other prospects in the draft.
Well, I mean, you got Haskins, you got Haskins, Daniel Jones, and Drew Lock. They're all 6'3" or taller.
Yeah.
Those are the three. Those are the other three.
Do you think there would be a possibility other than drafting a quarterback that they could trade for someone else to replace Manning?
Yeah, I made a video on that. It was a free agency video. I wouldn't go that route because if you look historically, the only quarterback that you could trade for realistically that I could think of is Joe Flacco. And I wouldn't do that because he's going to
because he's got replaced.
He's going to make $28 million next year. He's going to make $25 the year after that. He's not worth his money, and he's not an improvement over Eli, in my opinion. As far as free agency goes, the guy everybody likes is Foles, and I'm not sold on him. I think he's a system quarterback, and I don't think he would do as well here. He might do okay, but I don't think he'd be worth what he's going to get paid. And if you look historically, free agent quarterbacks don't usually pan out. So I want to go draft, but I don't know if it's going to be this year or the year after. You know?
All right. Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
You know? But anything else before I let you go?
What do you think is going to be the biggest comeback team next year?
In the NFL? I got to think about
NFL.
Yeah, I got to think about that. I'll tell you one team that I think could be a surprise next year, and obviously I could say the Giants, and they could be. The Giants could bounce back. I think they have a lot of talent if they can shore up the holes on the offensive and defensive lines, but that would be too cliche. So I'll give you a team outside of the Giants. I think the Bills could be a surprise team because I think Josh Allen's a pretty good quarterback. I think they have one of the top 5 or 6 defenses in the sport. If they could get a few weapons in that weak division outside of the Patriots, of course, the Bills or the Jets, actually, depending on what the Jets do in free agency, because they have a lot of cap space. Those two teams, one of those two teams, I could see making the playoffs next year.
But if the Bills want to progress as a franchise, they need to get Josh Allen throwing his arm a lot more.
Right. Well, yeah, I agree with that. The problem with that is, though, for Josh Allen and the Bills, they don't have any weapons. He has nobody to throw to. That's why.
Yeah, they gave away Sammy Watkins a couple years ago. All they have is LaShawn McCoy now.
Yeah, McCoy's probably, what is he, like 32 years old now? I mean, they got to get younger. They got to get him weapons. They got to improve the offensive line. If they could improve that offense, the Bills are dangerous next year because they have a very good defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And just last thing,
yeah.
Before I leave, do you think Alex Smith is ever going to come back from his injury? Because there are some reports that his legs get infected and he might not ever come back.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on it. If I'm the Washington Redskins and I like a quarterback in this year's draft, I'm taking him. I would not count on it at all.
Yeah, that's a smart move because all they have is Mark Sanchez left.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm going to let you go. I have people trying to call in. I see Patriots fans still trying to call in. I couldn't block them because I'll explain that after. But thank you so much for calling in. I'll take the next caller. Thank you again.
All right, see ya.
All right, man. I'm unbiased Ravens fan, and I'll tell you straight up, Lamar I agree with you, Connor Burke. I don't think he's the future either. I think he's a short-term quarterback, but he's not the long-term answer. What's going on, JMG? Thank you for tuning in. You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
What is up, jerk off?
I'm assuming this is Chris Denor?
Yep.
What's going on, buddy? What do you want to talk about?
I think it was like 2 weeks ago that I said I wanted to be a Mets fan because I hate the Padres now.
Okay.
Are you gonna be doing any more like information and stuff like that about the Mets? Like any videos?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have a lot more Met content up as the baseball season approaches. I'm actually going to be dedicating in baseball season a call-in show after Met games for about an hour, at least 2 nights a week. I'm gonna have Jet Central on my channel once a week for a weekly live show. I don't know the time yet. I don't know the day, but he will be on my channel, and we'll be talking Mets once a week in season. And anytime anything big happens, if anything big happens, the Mets pretty much, I think they're pretty close to set this off season. But if anything big happens, I'll be putting that up on the page as well.
Yeah. That's kind of all I wanted to know. But also talking about football, talking about the Redskins, you know their quarterback Josh Johnson. I think his name is Josh Johnson.
Yeah, Josh Johnson. He's backup quarterback.
Yeah, is he starting next year for the Redskins? Or
No way. No, they'll. I think the Redskins are going to draft the quarterback. I'd be shocked, or free agency. But
yeah,
from everything you hear, I think the Redskins. There's a good chance. I'll tell you what. If I had to pick a team right now, and I haven't done my full mock draft yet, but right now, I think if I had to pick a team, if there weren't any trades involved, nobody's trading up, I would peg the Redskins for Kyler Murray. I think that's where he's going to end up.
Yeah, I kind of see that. It's depending on what spot they get. They have to get like a top 5 spot.
I think they're picking 15. The Redskins.
Yeah, I think they'll be able to trade up for something like probably not 6, but like maybe after the Giants, like 7th or at least 4th. I don't know.
They might not have to trade up. They might not have to trade up to get Murray because there's so many good defensive players, and it all depends on the combine. If he like explodes at the combine and he shoots up, but there's only so many teams that need a quarterback. So the Jaguars need a quarterback, Giants need a quarterback. Those are the first 2. Giants are 6, Jaguars 7. Of course, people can trade up. I think the Broncos picked 10th, if I'm not mistaken. I could be completely wrong on that. They potentially could
They're
take
going for a quarterback, right?
The Bengals could take a quarterback. What'd you say?
Yeah. The Broncos are going for a quarterback this year, right?
They could.
Or they should be
They
going.
could. They have Keenum under contract, I believe, for at least one more year, but they definitely could.
Yeah.
You know, but we'll see. I mean, that's we'll see where it goes. But if I had to pick a team right now, I'd pick the Redskins, end up with Kyler Murray. But, it's all speculation.
Yeah.
But
and one more last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Do you think the Chargers are going to have to draft a quarterback this year? Or just stick with Phil Rivers and Geno Smith?
Oh, I think I wouldn't be shocked if the Chargers take a quarterback in rounds 2 or 3. If they I don't know. I don't know their scenario. I don't know what picks they have in the later rounds. Like if they don't have a second or third round pick.
I think they have 29.
No. I know they're first. Yeah, I know they're picking 29th in the first, but I'm saying in the second. I don't know if they've traded away second round pick. But if they like a quarterback, I don't think they'll take one in the first because they're a win now team, and Rivers clearly showed that he can still win. But if there's a quarterback in round, like in the late second, like just the name off the top of my head, Will Grier. If he's there in late round 2 and they like Will Grier and they know Rivers is getting up there in age, they could take him there.
Yeah. And also I want to address something in the chat. There's this dude named Patriots Goat. I'm pretty sure we're all me, Chuck Shards, Joe Lutz. A lot of people in the chat are thinking that he's Patriots for life.
Oh no, I know it is. I already know it is. He's already calling me. I'm just gonna ignore him the whole show.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna have to hear that little ringing. I'm not gonna answer him.
Yeah, saying you should ban him, that dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna explain when I get a chance why I couldn't block phone calls, but I'm working on the phone system. But I want to say thank you for calling in, buddy. All right,
keep doing what you do.
I appreciate that.
Peace out.
Thank you. Yeah, they can't. Who are we talking about? They can't afford to pay 2 veterans. Are you talking about the Giants? Yeah, they can't. Hello, you're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, hi. It's Gamer 500,000.
I'm sorry. Who is this?
Gamer 500,000.
Gamer 5. What's going on, my man? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. How do you feel about Anthony Davis going to the Bulls, maybe? Because he grew up in Chicago.
Yeah.
I think most likely to the Lakers or the Knicks.
I don't want to interrupt you because people keep calling in. Guys, I'm going to explain it again. It seems like I always have to do it. The last show was really good. You guys didn't do it that much. When I'm on the phone, and maybe there's a delay, maybe that's why it's happening, there is no point in calling in while I'm on the phone because I'm not going to answer your call. I have somebody on. I don't have a hold feature. People are just going to keep hearing the annoying ring sound. So there's no point in calling in. I'm just going to keep hitting ignore. When somebody's off, that's when you guys can call in. But go ahead. You're talking Bulls. You're talking Anthony Davis. Go ahead.
Yeah. So how about the Bulls getting Anthony Davis? I think most likely it's going to be the Lakers or the Knicks getting him.
I agree with you. I think those are the two most likely.
The Celtics, why would Anthony Davis request a trade now, but he knows the Celtics can't get him until the offseason?
Yeah, I think he wants to be a Laker. But the Knicks, to me, have more to offer. I mean, they really do because if they finish with the number 1 overall pick, because I think Porzingis, if he could prove he's healthy, is better than anybody that the Lakers have to trade. First off, because you're not trading LeBron James, and I don't care if you're the biggest Laker fan in the world. Kuzma's not Kristaps Porzingis, and the Lakers don't have the draft spot that the Knicks are going to have. The Knicks are going to have potentially the number 1 overall pick. So if the Knicks were willing to part with that, which, as I am on record saying, I wouldn't, but if they were willing to part with that, nobody can offer more, in my opinion. I mean, especially in a draft like this, where people think Zion Williamson could be the next great thing.
All right. Yeah, I got to go now, all right?
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for calling in.
All right. Bye.
All right. Mac, what's going on, my man? Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. EDP4, that can't be the real EDP445. But thank you, EDP, for tuning into the stream. All good, entertaining, no problemo. All right, here we go. One at a time, guys. You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
The Entertainer.
Who's this?
It's Bobby in the car this time.
Bobby in the car. What's going on, Bobby? Bobby, of course, always has the good jokes. What's going on, man?
Nothing. I'm just trying to tie up some loose ends before Thursday night.
Yeah. What time's your flight?
It's a red eye. 11, I think. 11:30.
Wow. Bobby, of course, is going to the Super Bowl. He's probably the only person in this chat room that's gonna get to be there. You know what? You should stream from the Super Bowl. That's how you should start your YouTube channel.
I'm thinking about it. I might just little bits and pieces, maybe a couple minutes here and there.
Yeah. So what's up, man? What do you want to talk about?
All right. Now this has been kind of bugging me for a while. I don't normally do this because I don't like to blast people.
Right.
But you know, because granted, I poked fun at people after the Atlanta Falcons fans after we beat them in the Super Bowl.
Right.
But you got to know when to give it a rest. So Goose and Jedi, if you listening, if you in here, this one's for you.
Go ahead.
So Sleeta's been running his mouth, trashing the Saints fans and their team for losing. And let's be honest. If that call isn't blown, the Saints probably run the ball and run the clock out and win the game.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, no. Anybody who says that the Saints wouldn't have won that game had the referee made the...
So Sleeta's doing all this. So Sleeta's doing all this talking, and it's one call, and he doesn't really know when to give it up. So I'm kind of going to give him a little bit of taste of his own medicine, because Sleeta, for a long time, has kind of been one of those dudes where I have respect for him, but he does a lot of talking, and he cries a lot, too, when people give it back to him. So let's just see how this goes.
Yeah, I agree with you that as a Giants fan, let's put it this way. You didn't see me making videos about the Eagles and Cowboys when they got knocked out because I don't have a leg to stand on. I mean, obviously I was rooting against the Cowboys and Eagles, but when my Giants win 5 games like his Falcons won 5 or 6 games, I'm not on here bashing the Cowboys and Eagles. So
well, there's a little...
I'm not knocking them, but that's just... I agree with you that when you don't have a leg to stand on, you shouldn't be doing that.
Well, this is what I mean. So poke a little, have a little fun, and then cut it out. Just slice it off, because they've had 3 or 4 opportunities now at the Super Bowl, and they've blown every one of them. Where they've had it in their grasp, and they've literally, the Falcons have literally come apart at the seams and peed down their leg. They're the NFC version of the Chiefs. They can't close big games, and they don't seem to handle pressure real well. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean that's the whole city, man. I mean, it's not just the Falcons, Atlanta, all the teams. I mean, the fact, I don't know if you're a baseball fan, but the fact that the Atlanta Braves only won 1 World Series with that pitching staff, it boggles my mind. It's incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible. All right, so here we go. So let's see. I'm going to give Sleeta a dose of a little bit of his own medicine, right?
Here we go.
All right, now let's take a look at Sleeta, right? If you screenshot a goat and his face, there's a lot of similarities there.
Oh, God.
Right? There's a lot of similarities there. I just want to be on
the record. If Sleeta's listening, because he's called in before, I just want to be on the record, I am not saying this. This is a caller, but go ahead.
So, just if you take a look at him, there's a lot of similarities between a goat and a horse and Sleeta. For example, look at his grill, right?
Right.
Where the hell are all his back teeth at?
Oh, God.
On his bottom row? Where the hell did they all go?
God, here we go. Any other similarities?
You know what his grill reminds me of? It's like a horse where you want to stuff that bit in there and just try and stick a what's that thing called, a bridle and a saddle, and see if you can ride that motherfucker.
Oh, God.
I mean, Sleeta's what would happen if Lurch and a goat had a baby. That tall, lanky, Addams Family looking motherfucker.
God. All right. I'm gonna let you go because I don't want to be getting in the middle of any of this. I'm gonna let you go, but you are entertaining.
I got more. I'll yeah. I'm done. All right,
man. Have a good one. All right, we will be taking one call at a time. He is quite the character, Bobby. There's no doubt about it. All right, one call at a time. What is going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Bobby from Vermont. How could I ever forget you? What is going on, my man?
Who was that, Bobby? How does he get tickets to the? He bought the tickets to the game.
Yeah, he's going to the Super Bowl. He's a Patriots fan.
Oh, he's a Patriots fan. Oh, too bad.
Yeah,
I hope they lose big time.
Not too bad. I mean, Brady might be winning the 6th.
I like that kid. Who's the kid who sings that guy's Mr. Bagdog song?
Chris Sinor.
Yeah, he's a funny kid, isn't he? He's a smart little kid, isn't he?
Oh,
he knows
Jose, I don't mean to interrupt you. I don't mean to interrupt you. Jose Reyes, I see that question. I'll answer it when I'm off the phone. But yeah,
you can answer him. Answer him.
All right, he says, do you want the Knicks to get the #1 pick or win as much as possible? I mean, at this point, first off, it's not going to matter in terms of our odds if we finish with the 3rd worst record or the 1st worst record. And if you look at the standings, there's no way we're going to finish any better than 4th, most likely. So I think we're going to have the best chance, as good as anybody, because I think even the 4th pick has the 10% chance. So it's 14% or 10%. So they're going to have about the same amount of ping pong balls, regardless of what they do for the rest of the season. It's just a matter of if you finish with the worst record, the furthest you could drop is to the 5th. Where if you finish with the 3rd worst record, you could drop to the 7th, I think, 6th or 7th. So that's the only difference. In terms of the odds of getting Zion in that first pick, it's the same no matter what they do for the rest of the year, pretty much. That's the way I look at it. But go ahead.
So you want Zion?
I mean, that's the consensus guy that most people have been going on. A lot of people.
He's from Duke, isn't he?
Yeah, a lot of people want John Morant from Murray State because the Knicks haven't had a point guard since I've been born. But
right, yeah.
But those are the top. Those are the top 2.
So do you watch you watched the Royal Rumble yesterday?
I was on the Sports Fury stream hanging out with them. I didn't actually see the Royal Rumble. I didn't have time. But
I see.
Yeah, I was hanging out with them. That was a fun stream.
Yeah, they're fun, right?
Oh, they're the best.
So how you doing? How was your day off today?
It was good, man. I was making videos. I made 2 videos, and now I'm doing this live show. Every Monday I'm going to do this because I have the time to do it. And Mondays,
right, because you're off Mondays.
Yeah, I'm off Sundays and Mondays, so I'm going to try to do. Kendra Higgins in the house. What's going on? Of course, anybody going?
Is it going to snow this week down in New York?
I didn't see. I know it's supposed to be very cold later in the week. I think it's going to be about.
We're going to get snow up here, 8 inches.
Well, you guys
by
always,
Wednesday.
You guys always get snow.
I hate snow.
Well,
I hate snow.
I got a question for you, Bobby. How do you live in Vermont?
Yeah.
How do you live in Vermont and tell me you hate snow? That's all it does up there.
Well, do you know what scoliosis is?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do.
My brother had scoliosis in New York, and in the summertime, we had to find a place for him to go up to. So we went all the way up to Vermont, and then my parents liked that area, and then my father found a job in Keene, New Hampshire, which is not too far away from Brattleboro, Vermont. So he got a job there, so we had 8 weeks to move from New York to New Hampshire.
All right, well, that makes sense then. But
yeah, I like the schools up here better.
Oh, great schools.
I hated the schools.
Yeah, great schools in the Northeast. But
I went to Martin Van Buren. You ever hear that school?
No.
Sounds
familiar, actually. But what do you want to talk about?
What do you think? Did the Mets pick up anybody yet? Still?
Well, the last guy they picked up was the lefty out of the bullpen. I think the Mets are pretty much done this offseason. They might add a couple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, they've added a lot. I mean, they added Robinson Cano.
Yeah, I know.
They added a starting catcher, the two back-end pitchers in the bullpen, couple of free agent center fielders.
Who is their catcher now?
Ramos.
Who's their catcher?
Ramos.
Oh, Ramos. Yeah, he's a good pickup, yes.
A great pickup.
Yes, from Washington.
Yeah,
Great pickup. That.
So the Mets...
See, when you get my age, you forget what we forget to talk about, you know. I forget to write stuff down. I'm 50 years old. You're a puppy, so...
I'm still a young pup.
And then Chris is even more a puppy than me. He's only a little boy compared to me.
Oh, Chris.
But he's smart. He knows his stuff.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best.
Knows his stuff.
But I'm going to... anything else you want to talk about? Or I got people trying to call, and that's the only reason why I'm asking.
I'm going to be over at my daughter's house watching the Super Bowl. Her stepdaddy likes the Patriots, but me and my brother are going for the Rams. So
that should be
we're
fun.
going to cheer for the Rams,
Hopefully
and the rest of the people are going to be the Patriots. So they're going to be crying this weekend. Definitely, like last year.
Well, hopefully
I cheered for the Patriots last year.
Yeah.
Because I hate the Eagles, so.
I hear you on that.
All right, so I let everybody talk to you. I talk too much, I know.
Well,
hopefully
you
can't get enough of my voice, can you?
Yeah, I love your voice. But
Okay,
hopefully, if you have enough time, you could check in at me and Bad Dog on his channel for the Super Bowl. But
Oh, I won't be around. No, I'll be at my daughter's house.
all right, well,
We'll
enjoy the Super Bowl, and I'm sure I'll see you soon, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, talk to you soon. Nice talking to you.
All right, Bobby. Mets, Orioles, Braves, and Padres are going to be my teams to watch this year, Connor Burke says. I tell you, the Mets, they're dangerous, Connor. Mets are dangerous. They made some nice acquisitions. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Entertainer, how you doing? This
What's
is
going
Texas
on?
Liberty.
I'm sorry, I was talking over you. I'm sorry, who is this?
My name is Texas Liberty. I've been in your
Texas
chat a couple
Liberty.
of times.
Yeah, I've seen you in my streams. What's up?
Not much, man. I wanted to ask you what you think about the Spurs. Let me just give you a little spill, and then I'll get off the line and let you say your piece.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been watching the Spurs, and Aldridge and Mills, are solid veteran squad duo down there, and they've got a bunch of players down there in San Antonio. Now they're like 9th or 10th in the West, which really doesn't mean much. They're going to make the playoffs. Just what do you think their chances? I notice you guys never do cover Spurs games, and I think maybe you should. I'd be really interested to hear yours and Mr. Bad Dog's take on how they're doing, because I'm seeing special things. I know it's not exactly the same, but that Greg Popovich is kind of like Belichick.
I was going to say, before you even said it, I was going to say they are like identical. I mean, those guys get the most out of their talent regardless of who's on the team. To be fair, I don't know your cap situation. Like, is DeRozan a free agent after this year?
I'm not sure either. That's a good question. I'll have to look into
I don't know. I know Aldridge signed a big contract after Duncan left, and they said he was going to replace Duncan. I don't know how many years he has left on his deal either. But the Spurs, to me, are kind of a team that's kind of in limbo right now. Like because obviously they lost Kawhi Leonard, but DeRozan's a nice player. But I think you guys, and they will with Popovich there. You guys will rebuild your team. I mean, nobody drafts better than the Spurs. I mean, you look at some of the players you guys have gotten late first round. I mean, Parker was a late first. Ginobili was a second. I mean, everybody just thinks Duncan, but I mean, you guys built tremendously through the draft. Patty Mills is another good example. He was a nice point guard for you guys. Kawhi Leonard. When was Leonard? He wasn't early first, right?
I have no idea how they find these players and how we're kind of like an international team. We're almost like a world team,
Yeah, I mean, the Spurs
I don't know how they do it, but
the Spurs are as good as anybody in terms of consistent. They are literally, like you said, the Patriots of the NBA. What
do you think the chances are of, I know it sounds crazy, but what do you think their chances are of winning the West? Winning the West? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Winning the West.
No, they're not going to win the West.
So we're talking 100-1. Amazing odds, right?
Yeah, I don't know about 100-1, but at least 50-1. You always got to give Popovich a chance if you get in the playoffs, but I mean, the Warriors are the clear-cut favorites. The Rockets have been a little disappointing, but they're starting to come around. I mean, to me, I'd be shocked if it's not the Warriors, unless they sustain an injury. Then anything could happen, but
you're right, but I keep saying this, and the people said this about the Patriots too. But at some point, war wariness is going to happen. But we haven't seen it yet from the Pats, and we haven't seen it from the Warriors. But I do kind of expect it this year. I don't think the Warriors win. I don't know who it's going to be, but I don't think the Warriors even win the West. I think they mentally, just check out at some point.
I'll tell you, and I don't know. I don't know if they're kind of. I don't know if the Warriors are kind of sleepwalking through the regular season, but I'll tell you, I think they got like 15 losses already, and I'm shocked by that. You figure a team like that, they shouldn't lose more than 15 games all year, but they may be saving themselves for the playoffs, and I mean, they're just so talented. It's going to be hard for someone to beat them.
And that's another thing that Warriors coach is he learned a lot from Pop as well.
Steve Kerr, yeah, great coach.
Yeah.
He was going to be the Knicks coach. The Knicks wanted him.
Yeah, of course. I mean, what do you, man, I just hope your Knicks do well. You've turned me into like a kind of a Knicks supporter, believe it or not.
I appreciate that. That's a huge compliment. Thank you.
Man, I want to get off the line. I've taken up enough of your time. I do appreciate your thoughts, and you guys have a good broadcast, man.
Thank you so much, Texas Liberty. Thank you for being a good subscriber. Thank you for calling in.
You're welcome, bud. Bye-bye.
All right, my man. Have a good one. Yeah, that's right, Kristen. A good call. The Suns did want Steve Kerr as well. And a lot of people thought Steve Kerr was going to be the Knicks coach. Because, of course, he had the ties to Phil Jackson. And then, of course, we ended up with Derek Fisher. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in. Hello? Hello? All right, you're gone. Next one. Hello, you're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on? I just want to say hello to Bavit. I see he came into the chat. Gangrene, this will probably go till about 9:30, probably, thereabouts. What's going on? Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, I was just wondering, what do you think about the season for the Giants?
What do I think about next year for the Giants? What do you,
Like the plan and stuff, like what's their plan? Like, what do you think they're going to do? Like, in the free agency, the draft? Like, people are saying we're going to get a quarterback.
As I always say, there's 3 big holes on this team, and everybody knows it. It's not rocket science. It's just a matter of how they go about doing it, where they allocate their money in free agency, and what they use their picks to do in the draft. But, I mean, they got to address the O-line, they got to address the pass rush, and they got to address the quarterback position. You know, that's...
Yeah, because, we have 11 picks.
Yeah,
so
I mean...
we can get a lot of players.
My guess is they're going to use some of those picks, because they have a first and a second, and then they have 9 picks, rounds 4 to 7. So I think they're going to use some of those picks to trade up into the earlier round, whether it be a third or a late second round pick. I think they'll use some of those picks to try to move up and get another early pick. I could definitely see that, or potentially trading down and accumulating more picks to try to stock up for the following draft when they may want to take that quarterback if they don't believe in a quarterback in this year's draft.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard, but the other day, people were talking about that the Giants are most likely going to keep Eli for this upcoming season.
Yeah, I read
that. Quarterback.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
Well, I did read that they may keep him to be a mentor for a quarterback they draft this year too. So it doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to draft a quarterback this year. But yes, I read that Eli. Yeah. It sounds like Eli's going to be the starter next year, at least to start the year. And it sounded like even if they take a Haskins or whoever, pick your quarterback with the 6th pick. They want Eli to be the starter for the full season. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah. What do you think about our schedule? Our opponents. We have a pretty easy for opponents. We don't have any hard teams besides the Patriots and the Bears, really.
Yeah. No, I say that all the time. I think we have a favorable schedule. We're playing a week, and I'm not going to say weak because I just said I think the Bills and the Jets could be vastly improved next year. But
yeah.
The AFC, those are winnable games. It's not like I'm going into the Jets game saying we can't win that game. I'm not going to the Bills game saying you know what I'm saying? So we have winnable games on our schedule next year. There's no doubt about it. And there's no reason to think that we can't be at least in contention for the playoffs next year with the schedule we have. And I think we're going to be an improved team via the draft, via free agency. So I like where the team's going. We got to see how they do in the draft, though, before I give you a real full answer on that.
Yeah, because our defense fell off with a couple of games this season. If they were able to hold up, we probably could be around 8-8.
Right. Well, they could easily. I mean, Bad Dog says it all the time. We should have beat the Panthers. They hit a 90-yard field goal to beat us. We should have beat the Eagles the second time we played them when we stopped running the ball in the second half. I'm on the spot, but there was at least 1 or 2 other games that we could have won or should have won that we didn't. So I mean, we could have won at least 8 games last year, at least.
Yeah, I'm happy that in the second half of the season, we realized that we should have gave Saquon the ball more. We got rid of Eric Flowers right away, upgraded the O-line.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Oh, another game. I'm just thinking another game was the Colts game. We should have won the Colts game. We had a huge lead in that game in Indianapolis. So, I mean, and the second half is a prime example. We went toe-to-toe with the Colts, who were the hottest team in football in Indianapolis, a game we should have won. We beat the Bears. I mean, we played really well in the second half. We really did. I mean, there's stuff to build off of going into next year.
Who do you think is going to be the top free agent target for our team, on defense? Do you think we need a corner? I don't know.
If it was me, and again, I don't know how much money we're going to have, I would definitely... A guy that I really like is the guy in the Panthers in terms of offensive lineman, Darryl... I keep forgetting his last. I think it's Darryl Williams, but I'm going to be doing a video on that in the coming days. But I like him, and I think they're going to use... I think he's going to be a Giant, because it just makes too much sense. Get him and drafted him in 2015, get him and likes him. I think Giants are going to get him. So I think they're going to use $9 or $10 million a year on him. And then, in terms of defense, I mean, I can't give you an individual name right now because I don't think they're going to get I'd be surprised if they get the big name guys, the D Fords, the Jadeveon Clowneys. It could.
Yeah,
happen.
those guys need to be resigning though.
It could happen, but the Giants would have to make cuts, and we'll see. But
yeah,
I think they're going to go more cost-effective with the pass rush. They're going to hope Lorenzo Carter gets better. They're going to hope that Vernon can stay healthy. That's what I think will happen, but we'll see.
All right, well, thank you for answering the call, man.
You got it, my man. Thank you for calling in. Mr. Bad Dog's #1 fan in the chat. Anyone who counts out teams like Dallas, Carolina, or the Chargers are going to regret it. These teams are underrated and have young... Yeah, I would never count them out. I mean, Carolina... I think Carolina... I don't know how they fell apart the way they did. I think they're a good football team. What's going on here? Well, I will say this about Carolina before I talk. Cam Newton's supposed to miss next year, right? So if he misses next year, I would count them out. But what's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Don't put me on hold, jerk off.
What's going on, buddy? Sperm cell.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Just taking some calls, talking some sports. Bavit, I'm going to be on until about 9:30. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, I kind of had some thoughts I need to share out to the public about whenever Bobby was calling in about Sleeta.
Right.
Now,
I'm going to say this before I'm going to say this before you talk. I don't want this to be a forum where we bash other YouTubers. I don't want.
I know.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't hate Sleeta, but I mean I don't really like him that much. But I don't hate him. The only real issue I have with him is he's kind of back and forth, and the only reason why I really have a hatred for him is because he likes to talk about the Eagles a lot. And I remember 2 weeks before we played them, the opening night game, he started talking about how the Eagles' history is bad, and then someone brought up 28-3, and he said that was in the past. But yeah, he liked to bring up the Eagles' history and stuff. That's really all I have to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's an outspoken YouTuber. There's no doubt about it. That's what his channel's about, right? He says controversial things, and I guess that's what. I mean, I know he's not technically. I think he says he's not in the TTC anymore, but that's what he was in, right? And that's kind of what that's known for, right? They want to say things that make people become opinionated, I guess. But yeah. What anything else you want to say?
Yeah. What are you gonna do for the Super Bowl with Bad Dog? You guys gonna crack open a cold one?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be on his channel. I think he said we're gonna go live at 4:30 for the Super Bowl. So yeah, I'll be on his channel all day from 4:30 to whenever the game ends, probably 11 o'clock. And I'm definitely gonna have a lot of food because there's no way I can go live for 7 hours and not have food. So I haven't decided what I'm gonna have yet, whether it be pizza, wings, I don't know. But yeah, we're definitely gonna be live. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So I know you'll be there, so I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, man. Go ahead. And by the way, Patriots for Life keeps calling. I just don't understand what this guy's thinking. Don't say that, but I don't understand what this guy's thinking. He's literally called me 40 times, and I keep hitting hang up. I'm literally telling you, I'm not going to answer. You're wasting your time. Do something else. I'm not going to answer your phone call. But go ahead.
I remember, and this is also talking to Bobby about how he said he was going to the Super Bowl last year for the Eagles game. I went to the Super Bowl last year, and I mean to see your team win the Super Bowl in person, it's unreal.
No, I can't even imagine. I always say this: the next time I see Jose Reyes is in here, the next time the Mets make a World Series, the next time the Giants make a Super Bowl, or the next time the Knicks are in the finals, I am going to make my way to that championship. There's no doubt about it. So I don't care how much it costs. I'm 33 years old. You only live once. I would like to experience that once in my life. So I'll definitely be at the next big event that one of my teams are in.
All right.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for calling in, and I'm sure I'll see you over on I'll see you on Bad Dog's channel tonight.
All right.
All right, buddy. Jose Reyes. Yeah, I mean it's YouTube, and unfortunately, I always say this to Sim because I know you're a Sim guy. Sim's show is on late, so a lot of kids are probably asleep by the time he goes live at 11 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, you get a younger audience. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in. All right, he hung up. There you go. Got a little stage fright. Yeah, meet the Mets. 100%. I'm going to the Mets World Series. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
What's up?
What's going on? Who's this?
William Horseman. I called in yesterday.
Yes, you did. What's going on, man? What do you want to talk about, brother?
I want to just get my mind, like, to the public to, like, talk about the Jets coaching possession.
Okay. But what do you want to go ahead? What do you want to talk about the Jets coach?
It's like Greg Williams should be like the head coach, and Adam Gase should be like the offensive coordinator because Greg Williams is more like a leader than Adam Gase.
Okay. I mean, Greg Williams. I like Greg Williams. I think he's the best coach on your staff, and I think he's actually better suited as a defensive coordinator. I think he's going to do better that way. I think that, as I always say, I think there's certain coaches in this league that are meant to, like for instance, the coach you just had, Bowles. I think he's a great defensive coordinator. I think when he became a head coach, he didn't do well. I think it could be something similar with Greg Williams. So I actually like him as your DC. Now the question, now you may not like Gaze, and that's fair. I mean, but I say give him a chance. That's what I say.
Yeah, but Gase is more like a quarterback's coach.
Yeah, no, well, if you don't agree with the hire, that's fair. But that doesn't necessarily mean Greg Williams should be the head coach. You know what I'm saying?
He shouldn't, but
I think Greg Williams. I think Greg Williams is perfect in the spot that you guys have him. I really do. But
we could agree.
Go ahead.
We could agree to disagree.
There we go. We agree to disagree. Anything else you want to talk about, or because I got people trying to call in? But if you want to talk about something, go ahead, shoot it out.
And to give Greg Williams the doubt, Tannehill's injured a lot, so
right.
Yeah.
All right, very good stuff, my man.
I would let you go.
All right, have a good one.
I'll let you go.
Thank you for calling in, buddy. All right. Connor says he's keeping his eyes on Gaze. Yeah, you should. You definitely should. I always say anybody could call in. Anybody in the chat could call in. I'm not going to tell anybody not to call in. Yeah, Kendra. I can only answer one at a time, but I'll try to answer. I'll get to you, Kendra. I promise. What's going on? You're on live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Yo, what's up, Entertainer? It's Troy Black. How you doing, man?
What's going on, my man? Big Knick fan. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, nothing. Just watching the game right now. What are you up to?
I'm just talking to you.
You watching the game at all?
No, I don't got the game on because I'm trying to focus on the call. At this point, what's the point? I mean, I watch them when I can, but I mean, they're so bad.
Yeah, I don't even know why I'm watching it still. I'm just, I don't know, trying to see some development, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think about? Well, you told me in the comments, but you seem to be pro. You would give up the first pick if you had to.
I wouldn't give that up, to be honest. I'd probably give up maybe KP and like Canner, maybe a future first possibly, but I'm not giving up that top 3 pick this year, no way.
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever it's gonna be.
I wouldn't do that. But I'd give up I love KP. You know that. I love KP, but
yeah. I just think Knicks fans overrate him so much though. Like the guy's a good player, you know what I mean? I don't even think he's like a top 10 player, I guess, right now. I wouldn't even.
Well, if he's healthy,
I don't even think so.
If he's healthy,
yeah.
If he's healthy, he could be. Let's put it that way. He definitely could be a top 10 player if he's healthy.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't. I even think he could. I'm not saying he will. I think he has the potential to be a top 5 player. But with Anthony Davis, you know he's a top 5. You know he's a top 3 player, and he's probably going to be the best player in 2 years.
I just feel like
you can't pass up that opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you, but I'm not gonna give up the farm or anything like that to get him. I think that's ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I feel like people kind of just people think you need to give up more than you do. You know what I mean? New Orleans, they have no leverage. You're gonna leave no matter what. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah. Our only competition is the other teams that are offering. Now you have to look at it. I mean, everybody's saying the Lakers. What do the Lakers have to offer? The Lakers more than likely are gonna have a mid-first round pick, and mid to late.
The Lakers got a bunch of scrubs. All their young players are terrible.
Well, I wouldn't say they're scrubs, but they don't have a Porzingis. They don't have a Porzingis.
Yeah, I don't even think they're better than our young players, to tell you the truth. Though, I mean, Lonzo Ball, he's a little bit better than Ntilikina. Brandon Ingram, that dude seems like a scrub to me every time I watch him. I don't know. I think
Kuzma's probably their best asset right now.
Kuzma's pretty good, definitely, but he doesn't play no defense at all. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say Bull still definitely has value. I mean, he clearly has potential. But
yeah, definitely.
Bull and Kuzma are their two biggest chips, and you would need more than that.
I like that. Definitely, a lot more than that. I don't think I think Kuzma's a good young player for sure, but like, I don't know. He's not a great defender. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of the worst defenders in the league, actually. So I don't know.
Well, let me ask you a quick hypothetical. What would if you're the New Orleans Pelicans? What deal are you going to take? I'm offering you KP. We'll say KP and Mitchell Robinson and a first round pick 3 years from now, or you can take Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, and a first round pick in next year's draft. What would you take?
You said KP and Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
And first
or
round
Kuzma
pick?
and Lonzo Ball and first round picks for both, but not next year's for the Knicks because that's gonna be like.
I would say the Knicks offer definitely, but I think it would have to be probably maybe a little bit sooner of a first round pick. You know, like I don't know, maybe next year's or something like that, or maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't part with 2019. That's all.
Oh yeah, definitely not this pick.
But
yeah, all right, man. I'm a hot ball, I guess.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for calling in.
The line.
All right,
no
man.
doubt, man.
All right, thank you. There you go. Knicks down 54-43 at the half. Once again, thank you for everybody for tuning in. If you're trying to call, just keep calling. I'll get you guys one at a time. Just waiting for the next caller here. Sperm Cell says, sorry about the weird noise at the end. My wife. Oh, yeah. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
What's up, Entertainer? Aunt G.
What? Oh, Aunt G. What's going on, man? I met you at the Knick game. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, man. I was listening to the last call, and I've heard this said about people saying they'd rather trade KP than the pick. I find that kind of strange, man, because.
Well, before you talk, and I'm gonna let you say what you got to say. I'm gonna give you my reasoning. I don't know how you feel about Zion Williamson or John Moran or whoever you have number one overall, but whoever it is, the reason that I think that pick is more valuable, and I love KP. KP is my favorite player in the NBA, and I think a lot of Knick fans underrate him. I think he's great, but
I do too.
But the reason that I think the pick is more valuable, and I said it earlier, the first overall pick for the first 3 or 4 years, you're going to be paying him on average $8 million a year. So it's like it doesn't eat up any of your cap, and the guy has potential to be one of the top 15 players in the league. Where KP is going to cost you a max, he's going to cost you $40 million. So that's why I actually think, even though I'm not saying Zion Williamson is going to be as good as KP or whoever they draft, the fact that I'm only having to pay them $8 million, that's going to free up another $32 million, where KP would cost $40 million a year. So that's why I would be more inclined to trade KP than the first overall pick.
No, I hear that, but I just think it's so much more risky.
Right? Well, yeah, because you don't know what you're getting. You don't know. I mean,
right.
We've seen a lot of busts with the first overall pick. It's a fair point.
Right, and you're really banking on your pick being KP. So it's. I mean, the good thing about KP is that say we bring in Anthony Davis and we magically find a way to get Tim Hardaway and Courtney Lee off the books, we can still sign another dude before we sign in KP because we have his bird rights. So.
Right.
I just feel like upside is a lot higher with putting those two together, than running the risk of trading KP for Anthony Davis, and then your pick turns out to be okay, but not great, and now you're stuck with a decent player in Anthony Davis, and did we really improve?
Well, no, if Morant or Williamson isn't the real deal. But at the same time, I could say if they don't work out, you're only investing $8 million a year, and then you kick them to the curb after the rookie contract's up, and then the money's freed up anyway. But I get what you're saying. It's an interesting dilemma. I mean, I love KP. I would love to see. I mean, the other scenario that I could see possibly, you'd have to give up like a plethora of first-round picks in the future, where you get to keep KP and next year's first. Maybe you give up 3 future firsts. You give up Frank. You give up Dotson. You give up some of your assets and like 3 first-round picks. Maybe that's possible, where you get to still keep this year's pick and KP. So
that would be a heist, man. If we were able to keep our lot of pick KP and get Anthony Davis.
Well, I'm not saying it would happen, but like, let me ask you this: would you trade? if you're not trading KP, I think you have to trade Knox. So would you trade Knox, Neil Aquina, and 2 or 3 future first-round picks for Anthony Davis?
Absolutely.
So you prefer that deal? You prefer trading 3 first-round picks in the future, Knox and Neil Aquina?
Well, 3 first-round picks is kind of hefty.
But what you're banking on is your team's going to be good, and those are going to be late first-round picks anyway. That's the gamble.
Right. But if we're talking about Knox, Neil Aquina, our pick this year, and say the 2020 pick.
Well, I'm not giving up my pick. In that trade. I'm not giving up my pick this year. This pick's too valuable.
Right.
I'm not giving up Knox and the pick this year, and Neil Aquina. I'm not doing that.
I think the prospect of having 2 transcendent talents on one team with cap space to add another is too good to pass up.
I hear you, man. I'd be thrilled as a Knicks fan to get to see, though. I mean, and it worked. It worked with the Pelicans. We saw it work. You know, a lot of people worried about the 2 Twin Towers, but Cousins and Davis were playing well together.
Because all of a sudden, Kemba Walker makes sense.
Well, yeah. If you have the money to also bring in a Kemba with a Davis, I mean, then you're talking a championship contender. Then the Knicks are going to be going. You know, New York's going to be going nuts if you could do that.
And you bring the hometown kid back. But that's going to all bank on Courtney Lee and Tim Hardaway's contract. If we can get rid of those contracts, we can bring in Anthony Davis, sign another guy. We won't be able to afford like a KD or like a Kyrie, but we can afford a Kemba Walker, and then we sign KD.
It's gonna be a really interesting offseason. And the deadline's in what, like a month?
10 days, February 7th.
Wow, I didn't realize. Yeah, you're right. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to see in 10 days. I mean, Hardaway's got to be the guy we're trying to get rid of. Hardaway, Lee, those are the 2 contracts. If we could get rid of Hardaway's contract, then that opens up a lot of possibilities for this offseason.
I feel like in this situation, it's win-win for me. Either we end up with Anthony Davis or we keep on with the young dudes we got.
I agree with you. I agree, unless, of course, you could sign a Durant. But I agree with you. If you can't get a premium superstar, I wait till the following offseason.
Yep, I agree.
But I'm gonna let you go because I got some other people trying to call in. But thank you so much, Ant. And I'll probably try to stop over on Sim's channel tonight.
I bet I'll definitely be up there.
All right, man. Have a good night. All right, next caller. What's going on? Thank you for calling in. What's going on? Hello. All right, hung up. Little shy. What's going on, Yvonne? He says removing you. All right, next caller. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
It's a Gritty Giant.
The Gritty Giant. What's up, buddy? Please check out his YouTube channel. He's got a new YouTube channel. What's up, man? What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the NBA draft. And how are you doing, first off?
I'm good, man. Just talking sports. I always have fun doing this, so trying to build this up a little bit. But, yeah, man, NBA draft. What do you want to talk about? Who do you want?
I want Zion Williamson, no question. If we have the first overall pick, I'm watching him currently right now. We need to draft him. He could do it on both ends of the floor, and he could fix that jump shot. He has confidence in that jump shot. He has playmaking ability. He's not like a Ben Simmons. He's not afraid to take the 3 as well, which I really like about him.
Yeah, well, Zion Williamson, and I keep hearing this. People are saying that he doesn't have a jump shot. You know, but he's an athletic freak, but he's a one-dimensional offensive player. I could give you a bunch of names of guys that came into the league that way that were athletic freaks. Now, granted, he's a little undersized. He's 6'7", right?
Yeah.
But I could give you Amari Stoudemire. We saw it as Knicks fans. That guy could shoot. When he came into the league, he couldn't shoot a lick. Blake Griffin's another perfect example. So you could develop a jump shot. You know, the guy's only 20 years old. He's got the ability to be a monster at the NBA level. Now, he's not going to be a LeBron James. He's not one of these 6'7", 6'8" guys that's going to create for other players. But he could still be a monster. He could be a Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley, he's one of the best players ever, so it's hard to say he's going to be that. But he could be that type of player. Or Sean Kemp. He has that ability. I mean, that guy is a freak athlete. A freak.
Yeah, he's a once-in-generational type talent. And I do not want that kid from Murray State. If you look at the players drafted into the NBA from Murray State, all right, there was this kid, Cameron Payne. He was supposed to be the next big thing. This dude ended up being an absolute bust because they have no names on those teams. The players that were drafted by Murray State did not even end up being great role players. If you look down the list, there are no names you never heard of. Cameron Payne, you heard of him?
I've heard of him. He didn't succeed, but yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, because he was a ball-dominant player, and there was no one to help him there. So, of course, you're going to get stardom when no one else is scoring baskets there.
Right. Yeah, it's a fair point. I'm not. I wouldn't be upset if we took Morant, but I think Zion has a much higher ceiling. And I like Barrett. I like Barrett a lot too.
I don't know about Barrett though. He just takes some dumb shots sometimes. Like when I see him like 28 shots a game, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, he can still refine his game, but the ability's still there. I mean, they've been saying for 3 or 4 years that Barrett's going to be the second coming of Kobe Bryant. Now, I don't think he's going to beat Kobe Bryant, but he clearly has a lot of talent.
Yeah, he was a beast in high school. But that's all I want to talk about.
All right, man.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for calling in, buddy. All right, yeah. Anybody wants to call in? Yvonne doesn't like the basketball talk. I talk anything. I'll talk baseball. I'll talk football. I'll talk whatever. I'll talk ping pong. Whatever you guys want to call and talk about, I'll talk about it. So, Yvonne, call in. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hello?
What's going on? Who's this?
Cushion Baseball Chat.
What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much. I just wanted to chime in about what the whole Anthony Davis thing. Do you think that, let's say you knew the Knicks weren't going to get any big-name free agents, would you still give up a law for Anthony Davis? I'm curious to get your take.
So you're saying if the Knicks, you're saying in next year's free agency they're not going to sign anybody, but would I still trade for Anthony?
Let's just say you had a fortune teller and no one was going to come to the Knicks. So not Kevin Durant, not Kyrie, not Kemba, or no one of that.
Well,
my
answer to that would be if they're not coming with Anthony Davis, then they're not coming without him. So,
all right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm taking him either way. I mean, he only helps our chances of getting another.
Me personally, I think I've said this for a while. I know there's some conflicting reports. I think Kevin Durant to the Knicks just makes way too much sense to revive his legacy, playing a big market. I think it makes too much sense, honestly.
I mean, I would love Kevin Durant. I'd love either one of them. I like Anthony Davis more because he's younger. I think Anthony Davis is a better all-around player.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that there's potential to get both, in theory.
Oh, forget it. If we ever got both, you wouldn't be able to enter the Madison Square Garden. The tickets would be $1,000, your cheapest seat. That would be crazy.
Also, I had another question.
Yeah.
So I have I don't follow college football pretty much at all. I have a friend that does. I wouldn't say he's an expert, but he's like pretty knowledgeable, and he says that Will Grier will be like that he's like a hidden gem. Like I don't know much about him. Like what would you give me as a scouting report?
Will Grier, to give you just a quick comparison, I view him as a poor man's, and he's nowhere near him, a poor man's Baker Mayfield. He's got some mobility. He's accurate. He's got a decent arm, but I don't think he's going to be a big impact quarterback at the NFL level. I don't.
Right. I do happen to know.
What'd you say?
I do happen to know that my friend that was a big Will Grier fan did like Baker Mayfield a lot also coming out of college.
Well, so did I. I love Baker Mayfield.
It would make sense that he was somewhat similar. But he has like an obsession. He's not even a Giants fan. He's a Bears fan. But he just like thinks Will Grier is going to be really good. I guess.
I mean, he could be. I'm not sold on him. I think he could be decent, but he's not. He's definitely not going to be a first round pick. And I shouldn't say that, but he's not going to be. The Giants aren't taking him. Not with the first. Maybe in the second round. They're not taking him in the first round. That's a fact.
All right. Yeah. That's where I saw most mock drafts having him. They mostly had him as like a early to mid second round pick.
Yeah, that's where he's going to go. Most likely, we'll see. But, I mean, Rover Sports, good friend of mine, went to Mobile, Alabama, where they had the Senior Bowl. And he was telling me that he's not a fan of him at all. He hates his release. He's not a big fan of him at all, Will Grier. I don't know. I'm not. I have him at best fit.
All right. I was just asking because I really had no clue about him whatsoever.
Yeah, no. I'm just telling you what I've heard about him. I'd have him at best fit in this year's crop of quarterbacks.
All right, because my friend he again not an expert. He thinks Dwayne Haskins is going to be a bust.
I mean, a lot of people think that, and there's reasons to think that. I'm not I'm not saying that he's the second coming of Joe Montana. There's reasons why people
Yeah,
don't like him.
I know you're not. You just
Yeah.
you just happen to like him.
Yeah, I
he
like
just
him.
happens to not like him.
Yeah, I don't love him. I like him. He's.
I said like him.
Yeah. I know. He could be good. I like him. I wouldn't be upset if the Giants take him 6th overall, but we'll see.
All right.
But
also, yesterday, I'm sorry if when I first called in, if it seemed like I was very nervous. I just stuttered a lot. I don't know what I was doing.
Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it.
All right.
But
Can I make a quick plug of my channel? Can I make a quick plug?
Just do it in the chat because I got to take a caller.
All right.
But yeah, go ahead. You can plug your channel in the
Thank
chat.
you for letting me call in.
You got it, man. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in. Hello? Hello? All right, you're gone. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Yo, Chris, how's you doing?
What's going on? Who's this?
Travis.
What's up, man? What's going on?
Hey, man, I got 3 questions for you. I'll do it quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, first one. If you're in the Dallas Cowboys shoes, if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, God forbid, would you keep or replace Jason Garrett?
It's hard to say to replace him off this year. I mean, they it was one of the best years they've had since. I mean, what have they won? 2 playoff games since the Aikman days?
Yeah, 2 and 3.
Yeah, it's hard.
2 and 3.
It's hard to replace him because they had a really good year. So I'm not a Garrett fan, but yeah, I would keep him off of this year. I would keep him.
All right. So next thing would be for the Redskins that Alex Smith would most likely not be playing this year. What would you do?
I would draft a quarterback. If I'm the Redskins, I would definitely draft a quarterback. I would. I personally think Kyler Murray's in play for them because I think if he ever fell to 15, he's really good value there. I'd be looking at a Kyler Murray, Drew Lock for them in that 15 spot.
All right. And my last one will be, out of the last 5 seasons, who's your number 1 wide receiver?
You got to go Antonio Brown. Got him.
Yeah.
I mean, I always say Hopkins because he's done more with less. But, I mean, and obviously Beckham's in the conversation. But, I mean, Antonio Brown, some of the numbers that guy put up, I mean, it's just insane. I mean, he's probably, statistically, the best wide receiver since Jerry Rice over a 5 or 6 year stretch. That's how dominant he was. You know? So, I mean, it's close. You got a lot of good receivers, though.
Yeah, but bringing out Antonio Brown, what do you think he's going to play next year?
I mean, a lot of people think the Jets. A lot of people think the Jets are in play. I mean, you got to look at teams with cap space. The Colts have the most cap space in football. I don't know. It's going to be a trade, though, right? But the Colts could use a number 1. And that would make a lot of sense. I don't know. I haven't looked enough into it. I don't know the scenarios where, who's looking to acquire him. I know the Jets everybody keeps talking about. The Colts, to me, make a lot of sense. I know the Browns have a lot of cap space. They could probably use a number 1. I think Landry's more of a 2. Those are probably my top 3 landing spots.
And
maybe
I don't
the
know if you saw this on Instagram.
Maybe the Ravens.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think Brown would want to go to the Ravens. And, what am I saying? There's no way the Steelers are trading in division.
Yeah. But I don't know if you saw it on his Instagram or not, but he actually posted a picture of him in a 49ers uniform.
That makes sense, too. The 49ers are rumored to be wanting a wide receiver. That's where the Giants rumors came with the trade for Beckham to the Niners. That makes sense, too. And obviously they're looking to acquire number 1 target for Garoppolo. That would make a lot of sense, too. That would make a lot of sense, too.
All right, man. That's all I got for today. So, have a good night.
All right, buddy. Thank you for calling in. Good questions. All right, let's get to the chat here. Chuck Sharp says 49. Yeah, 49ers make sense. 49ers definitely make sense. Patriots for Life made another account. Boy, he wants so much attention. Yeah, he does. Can I get 80 sub? Yeah, Gangrene. Keep plugging, my man. Sub him up. What's going on, Enzo? Thank you for tuning in. Road Deuces. All right, here we go. We got another caller calling in. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
The Entertainer. It is I, the Arnold Schwarzenegger from Stuck in the 80s.
Love this guy. Love his channel. Whitney's in the house, by the way. What's going on, Whitney? What's going on, LeBron James? Techie, thank you guys for tuning in. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, I'm going to check out your channel tonight. I know you had a few movie reviews I got to catch up on. What's up?
Just calling to say hi because I missed your stream yesterday. I was out all day and just wanted to say first and foremost to anybody that's new to this channel, The Entertainer Talking Sports is an awesome channel. Chris is a very knowledgeable sports guy, and he's a wonderful part of the YouTube community. He's constantly promoting other people's channels when he doesn't need to. So props to you, brother. Sub him up and hit the like button.
You know what? That means the world to me that you do that, and I appreciate you saying that. So please sub me up if you're new to the channel. Hit the subscribe, ring the bell, and please sub up Stuck in the 80s. And any YouTuber in here, I'm the same as Bad Dog. Any YouTuber in here, if you ever want to promote your channel, don't overdo it. But if you want to say you got a YouTube channel, by all means. But what's up, man?
All right, so I got a hypothetical question for you that came to me during the chat. If Plaxico Burress does not shoot himself in the leg in 2008,
before you go on, I think I know exactly what you're going to ask me because I've asked this same hypothetical question with my friends, but I'm curious to see what you're going to ask me. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, do they repeat as Super Bowl champions?
Okay, what I thought you were going to ask me, and I think they do, by the way. What I thought you were going to ask me is, do they win the 2011 Super Bowl if he doesn't shoot himself in the leg? Because I'm going to explain why. If he doesn't shoot himself in the leg, they don't draft Hakeem Nicks, and Victor Cruz probably never gets an opportunity. Victor Cruz was the guy, the driving force in that 2011, obviously, run at the end of the regular season and in the playoffs. So the better hypothetical question to me, actually, is do they win the 2011 Super Bowl? Because they wouldn't have the same wide receiving core. They would have never drafted Hakeem Nicks. Burress probably wouldn't have been the same caliber player by 2011. So that's the hypothetical question I thought you were going to ask. But I do think they win that Super Bowl. I mean, they were so good. They were, 11-1 when he shot himself?
I think they were 11-1 or even 12-1 with that. Yeah, they were first place, and then everything went downhill after he shot himself.
Yeah, and by the way, or you called from your phone, not Skype. But, so what do you think about that question? Do you think they win the 2011 Super Bowl if he didn't shoot himself?
I never thought of it that way because they did draft some wide receivers they would not have on their team, and you're right, they probably wouldn't have. So do I rather have the repeat, or they might not play the Patriots again? So I like the two wins over Tom Brady. Eli the GOAT killer. I said it.
Yeah, I mean, they might. Who knows? Maybe they win all three, but you can make an argument that Victor Cruz never gets an opportunity. I mean, and some people would say he might have because he's more of a slot receiver. That's how he got his opportunity. But if Burress was getting all the targets, I gotta say, and Manningham, so he might have not. He might have never got found. Victor Cruz may have never been a Giants legend had he never shot himself.
I gotta say, I see Mr. Bad Dog in the chat. Holler, Mr. Bad Dog 7676. He says if Burress doesn't shoot himself, he wins 2007, 2008, 2010, and 2011. You know what? I'm okay with that.
You know what? That's a good point, Bad Dog. But one thing I will say about the contract being up in 2010, they might have re-signed him. They might have, if they're winning Super Bowls. I'm just saying, it's an interesting hypothetical because they probably never draft Hakeem Nicks. I don't think anybody would debate that had Burress not shot himself. And Hakeem Nicks was a great Giant for a 2-3 year stretch and was instrumental. I mean, I'm sure you remember the catch against the Packers in that playoff game with the Hail Mary before the half. And he was great in those playoffs. And, I mean, of course, Cruz led the way in, that whole stretch at the end of the regular season.
Well, it's funny you said you can put a lot of the Giants wide receivers in the last decade. Insert name here was a great player for 2 or 3 years. We've really had a rotating carousel. Receivers that have been great for a couple of years, and then you disappeared. Right now you got a lot of callers that want to come in and talk to you, so I don't want to tap on too much. Thank you for being an awesome channel, and you have a wonderful night, brother.
Keep up the great work, man. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
All right, let's see what we got here. Joe Lutz says Chris drowns his pasta inside. I don't eat sour cream. That's one of the few things I will not eat, Joe Lutz. I don't eat sour cream. I don't eat mayonnaise. All right, next caller. What's going on? Thank you for calling in. Hello?
Hello, it's James again.
James, did you call earlier?
I called yesterday.
Oh, you called yesterday. All right, go ahead. No, you can. I just don't want to take second-time callers yet. But what's up, man?
I just think. Do you think Kyler Murray is like a durable quarterback that can play long term?
I mean, a Kyler Murray fan like Bad Dog, who I love, would tell you there's no reason to think he's not. And it has nothing to do with his height in terms of durability for me and his frame. Well, it has a little bit to do with his frame and his size, but he could bulk up. It's the type of quarterback. Historically, quarterbacks that play the way he does most of them don't hold up in the NFL. That's my argument against him. I don't like the fact that he's going to have to make a lot of throws outside of the pocket.
Because he's kind of a scrambler, too, so that's why I don't like him.
You know, I know everything you read, they say he's able to find creases in the offensive line. He's good at, but I just find it hard to believe he's going to be able to survive in the pocket on a consistent basis. I think he's going to have to use his scrambling ability. Even if he doesn't run for 700 or 800 yards, I think he's going to need to use his scrambling ability to make throws outside of the pocket, and that makes him more vulnerable to injury. That I don't like that. That's just, and everybody's different. Some people love those types of quarterbacks. That's just not my type of quarterback.
Yeah, because, scrambling out the pocket, you get tackled wrong, that's an injury. I just don't want us to draft a guy, and 2 years he's already out of the league because he got hurt.
Well, yeah, that's what I look at Robert Griffin III, just an example, and similar type of quarterback in the sense that he had to get out of the pocket to make plays. He had to use his legs. Once he sustained that, I'm not going to say, as Bad Dog said, you can't predict an injury like that, but once he sustained that injury, he can't play anymore. He's not a starting quarterback because without being able to use his legs, he's not able to do what got him into the pros. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't like guys that need to move out of the pocket to be successful. That's just not my type of quarterback. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But go ahead.
I said I was going to say thank you for answering my question.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for calling in, buddy.
Well, you're welcome. I said I watch every stream. I'll talk to you later.
All right, buddy. Thank you for being a great part of the channel. But I just didn't shave today. I'm not growing a beard. Oh, my God. You guys are awesome. I hope the Browns live up to expectations. I think they will, Chuck Shards. I think the Browns are in a good spot. Because not just do I think they're improved, I think the Steelers are on their way down. They're going to lose Brown. They're going to lose Bell. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
I'm looking in my toolbox, and I can't seem to find my wrench. Where's my mod?
Who is this?
This is Joe Musa again.
Joe Musa, I got to get you a mod. I got to, after the...
I was going to say, how much do I have to donate for a wrench?
I just forget. I will go back in and give you a wrench, for sure.
And now, wait, well, before you hang up on me, I know I'm a second-time caller, but can you explain how you couldn't block for Patriots for life?
Yeah, well, the reason I had trouble, from what I looked up, when you block people, the only way on Skype you could block people is if you only accept calls from numbers that are in your phone book. So, hypothetically, I could put everybody that has called in the past in my phone book, but then that would eliminate new callers from calling the show. So, it doesn't allow you, to my knowledge, from what I researched, to block individual numbers.
Oh, wow. All right. You know what? I'm going to do some more research for you and help you out there.
I appreciate it, Joe.
All right. Take care, man.
All right, man. He will definitely get a mod. Joe Moose is the man. Great caller, too. And I appreciate the donations. I just ate Chipotle, and now I'm contemplating... Chipotle's awesome, Vaughn. I don't get people who knock Chipotle. I love Chipotle. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
What's up, Chris?
Who's this?
Colby.
Colby, what's up, buddy? What do you want to talk about?
Anthony Davis.
Oh, all right. Let's talk. What do you want to talk about? What you would do? Trade? You're a Knicks fan.
Celtics.
You're a Celtics fan. All right. So what do you want? You want to talk about a theoretical trade going to Boston?
Yes.
Go ahead. Give me a trade.
Marcus Smart.
Okay. Is that it?
Marcus Morris, and the Kings' first round pick.
No. The Kings are mid first, right? They're not gonna be an early first. No, not even close. Not enough.
It's a top 5 protected pick.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. That ain't gonna happen. You're gonna have to give up a lot more than that.
Or you could trade Kyrie Irving and re-sign him in the offseason.
Not gonna happen. Why would they take Kyrie Irving for a half a season just to see him go back to Boston?
Well, true.
You're gonna have to give up a lot more than that.
What would you give up if you're a Celtics fan?
I mean, you're giving up. You have to give up a much bigger piece to Marcus Smart. I mean, Marcus Smart is a nice player. I like Marcus Smart. He's a dog. He's a tough defensive player. He's gritty. Nice piece off the bench. But Marcus Smart, what's his career average from the field? 38%. He's basically Frank Ntilikina, but he's more of a dog.
He starts.
Yeah. Is he really? What does he average? 7 points a game. He plays really good. I like him. He's a nice piece to a really good team. But he's not a guy that you're giving up Tatum. You're giving up young, really good players if you're getting Anthony Davis. I mean, the Knicks have to give up Porzingis. You're not getting away with giving up Marcus Smart.
I mean, I guess you're right at some point.
But what's up? Anything else you want to talk about?
Nope.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for calling in, my man.
Yep.
Gangrene, can I do this till 10? I'll go to like 9:45. I'll meet you halfway. I'm just waiting on another caller. Enzo, I really appreciate it. Anybody new to the channel, please hit that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe. Ring the bell. Thank you guys for tuning in. Waiting on my next caller. Mr. Bando, thank you so much for this. You don't have to do that. Thank you so much. Let me address that super chat real quick before I talk to you. Mr. Bad Dog says Kyler Murray, 3,776 yards, 31 touchdowns, 11. Very specific statistics from Bad Dog. 636 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, 2019. From your lips to God's ears, Bad Dog. If we draft Kyler Murray, I'm going to be his biggest fan. Please, if we draft him, please put up those numbers. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Chris, it's Kendra.
Kendra, love Kendra. Welcome back to the channel, Kendra. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I was scared. I was scared when you tuned into me and Mr. Bad Dog's nonsense stream that you got scared off.
No, I'll never get scared off. Not from coming to see your channel.
I really appreciate that, Kendra. Thank you very much.
I had to call you before I was about to go to sleep because I am a bit pooped today. I can't even lie.
Yeah. Oh, you had a long day at work?
Yes, I had a long day.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about? I mean, I'll talk about whatever you want. I mean, we can talk. We talked about ribs last time, right?
Well, yeah, but I tell you, I didn't call for sports. I know y'all do a lot of that. I just called to say hi to you.
I appreciate that. I always appreciate that. You're one of my favorite subscribers. I love you, Kendra. So thank you for that. So long day at work. How's the weather right now in Dallas? Oh no, you live in DC.
Yeah, I live in DC. It's cold now. We're supposed to be having some kind of snow mix tomorrow. It's not supposed to be much, but the traffic kills me because don't nobody know how to drive.
Right. Well, Kendra, I don't know if you've ever been to New York. If you think the traffic's bad there, you should come to New York for a day, and you won't be complaining about your traffic.
That's what my grandmother said too, but I just don't know. Between here and Atlanta, the traffic is horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, horrible.
Well, it makes sense. DC, I mean, a lot of government jobs there. I'm sure it's always packed.
But how was your day? I know you was off. How was your day?
Yeah, busy. I was making a lot of videos, preparing for this show. Sundays and Mondays are my off days, so Mondays I'm going to try to do this every Monday because people seem to like it, trying to grow up the channel. Just a busy day. I mean, I got some errands done, laundry, all that, but most of my time was dedicated to my YouTube channel, making my videos, getting ready for the show. Yeah, busy day. Busy day.
Well, I'm so glad I got to speak to you before I headed off to sleep.
Well, I'm glad you got to talk to me too. You're going to bed early. What time you start work?
6 o'clock in the morning.
All right. So you got to get some sleep then. You got to get some sleep.
Yes.
All right.
I probably won't fall right to sleep, but I'm heading that way. Give me a cup of tea and I'm gonna be out.
All right, Kendra, get some sleep. Get some sleep, and we'll talk soon.
Okay, Chris. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. Thank you for calling in.
No problem.
All right, bye. So there you go. Kendra needs some sleep. Jose Reyes says we're listening to a first date. But he says, love you, Kendra. You ain't slick, Chris. Oh, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. All right, next caller. You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
What's up? It's One Giant Rebuttal once again.
One Giant Rebuttal, by the way. I should have announced this in my notes. He is going to be on the channel tomorrow. I want to help promote his channel a little bit. We're going to talk some Super Bowl. I'm really looking forward to that. He'll be on the channel probably around 9:45 because that's when I am ready after work. But what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
So I was actually going to do a video on this, but you know what? It's not a bad question because I do actually have a concern about the Giants because the quarterback class is so weak, and a lot of Giants fans just want to take a quarterback for the sake of taking a quarterback. I just want to warn them. If you guys don't remember Danny Cannell and Dave Brown, I know Bad Dog does.
Well, before you go on, that's the problem. 90% of these people that are saying, I only want a quarterback, they're 22 years or younger. They only know Eli Manning. They don't remember the days with Danny Cannell and Dave Brown and all those guys. So that's where part of that mindset is, guys that only want a quarterback. But go on.
So, anyways, and to respond to you last night, when you were on Rover's Shore, the only reason I want to get rid of Olivier Vernon and Janoris Jenkins was simply because neither one are living up to their contract. And I believe even if you get even a rookie on a rookie deal to replace Janoris, I believe you can get more consistency. He's just too up and down for the contract, the money you're giving him. That's what I was trying to say.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's not a bit. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that you're absolutely wrong. I mean, Janoris Jenkins is not worth $15 million, and Vernon's not worth $19. I just look at the difference in money, and I look at the free. But you're right. I mean, well, here's the question. This is why. I'm just going to explain why I wouldn't cut them, because I look at it like this: if you're keeping Eli for one more year, I personally think that you're still trying to win next year, right? You're not rebuild mode yet. If Eli's your starting quarterback, is that a good assumption?
Even if he's your starting quarterback, I think the writing's on the wall. That argument could easily be made for this year, and obviously it was made for the beginning of the season. But I think it's official that the Giants are in rebuild mode. It's no longer. I mean, it's okay if you want to make that assumption, but it's not like I'm going to root against the Giants losing. I'm not going to be like, tank for Tua or something. But I just don't agree. The Giants are in rebuild mode, and Rome wasn't built in a day. I think we're 2-3 years away.
Oh no, I agree with you that. Let's put it this way: I wouldn't do what they did in 2015 when they went out and they spent $1 billion on free agency. I wouldn't do that. But I just look at it like this: if you don't draft a quarterback and Eli's coming back, you might as well try to win next year. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying going out there spend $300 million in free agency, but for next year only, I look at it like I think you have a better chance to win with veteran players and hope they stay healthy with the Vernons and the Jenkins, rather than bringing all rookies. And I'm not saying if you draft guys, you play them, and if they outplay them, but the next year they would carry much less of a cap hit. Like the next year, Vernon, for example, I think is only like a $5 million hit, $4 million hit, and the same applies for Jenkins. He's like a $3 million hit. So that's when I would cut them. But I understand that you don't think they're worth the contract. It's fair to say.
No, I mean, like I said, I agree with you too because, either way you look at it, it's fair. It's a fair assumption because regardless of what happens next year, I mean, what am I trying to get at here? But it's just it is a fair assumption. Either way, I think we're actually going down the same road, is what I'm saying. We're coming at it from two different ways, but we're actually basically in the same lane.
No, in the end, both of our paths, we're getting younger and we're getting more affordable players. It's just a matter of when you do it. Do you do it this year or do you do it next year? And next year, you get the more. It doesn't cost. Next year, if you do it, that's why that's my philosophy. Like next year, that's when I would spend a ton in free agency. So that's when I would cut them because that would give me more money to spend in free agency in the following year. Because I would try to build the team up as much as I possibly could for that rookie quarterback.
Oh no, absolutely. That's definitely a fair assumption. I mean, the only thing is, I don't think we can build the team up this year if you're going to take it's a possibility, but if you're taking a rookie quarterback, you're blowing that first round pick on a rookie quarterback, and now you're using the rest of your picks to solidify positions that may be weak around that rookie quarterback as of line for later. I mean, obviously you're helping Eli because you're going to keep Eli around to mentor. So
no, that makes sense. I mean, if they take a quarterback, I think then it makes more sense to cut Jenkins and Vernon. If they don't take a quarterback, I think it makes less sense, if that makes sense.
Yes and no. It depends who they take in the first round. Like, if they take let's just say, there are some corners in this draft.
No, I said quarterback. I said if they take Haskett. Oh, you're saying in the other scenario. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. So if they took a Greedy Williams, for example, it makes sense to cut Jenkins, and if they took White, it makes sense to cut Ogletree, and if they took a pass rusher like a Farrell, it may make sense to cut. That makes sense. I'll tell you what, that is how I think they're going to decide who they cut. If they take a defensive player in the first round, depending on which player they take. If they take Devin White, it makes sense to cut Ogletree, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But either way, entertain it. I'll save some of this for tomorrow. I mean, I appreciate taking my call and whatnot, but I want to allow other people to have a chance to speak.
Sounds good, man. Thank you so much for calling. I'm looking forward to talking to you tomorrow.
Same here. Bye-bye.
All right, buddy. Sorry, MH. When are you doing the second time callers? James, 9:15. 9:15. Joe, you'll get a wrench, I promise. After the show. I can't do it during the show because I don't have the chat in front of me. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in. And Goat Quan, I'll give you one too. What's up? Hello? All right. Got a little shy there. When are you... Oh. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Entertainer. It's Whitney.
Whitney, what's up, Whitney? Thank you for calling in.
Nothing much. I'm getting ready to hit the sack. I gotta get up and start work all over again. So
all my female callers go to bed at like 8 o'clock. I got to start the show earlier. But what's going on, Whitney?
Nothing. I pretty much answered you answered everything that I wanted to know on yesterday. So I just thought I'd give you a call.
Yeah,
peep in on the chat, chit chat with everyone, and hit the sack. So, will you be available?
Every time. I don't mean to interrupt you. I always look at the chat when a female calls in, and every single time a female calls in, everybody's saying I'm blushing, and here we go. but I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, I was just asking. Were you going to be live tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Oh, yes, I am. But it's not going to be a call-in show. I'm going to be live with One Giant Rebuttal at about 9:30, 9:45.
Gotcha. And one more thing. Anthony Davis, I think he's coming to L.A. with us because LeBron, and, he wants to win 6. So can't knock him if you do decide to come that way. You could use a big man like that in the center.
Oh, forget it. Anthony Davis is, he's like Anthony, I said it earlier, in 2 years he can be the best player in the league. If the Knicks could get their hands on Anthony Davis, you do it by any means necessary. I mean, within reason, but you give up a lot to get Anthony Davis. He's a special player.
Yeah, I just can't stand the Golden Girls, and you know who I'm talking about when I say that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
The Warriors.
I know who you're talking about. Just like the Cowboys.
Exactly. So, but that's all I wanted to call and tell you. I'll see you tomorrow.
QC wants me to sing a lullaby because all the girls that call and go to sleep. But all right, Whitney, I'm gonna let you go to bed, get some sleep, and we'll talk soon.
Alrighty, see you then.
All right, have a good night. Chris needs Johnny Walker now. You guys are hysterical. But yeah, anybody want to call in? Go ahead. Chris goes 0 for 3. Sperm cell says. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in. All right, 315 now. I think he's called me like 6 times, and I pick up for 4 seconds, and he hangs up. So at 315, I think she's just a little shy. Babe, I'll let you go to bed, Entertainer 2019. Hey, yo, Thane, thank you for tuning in, Thane. I hope you gave me 90,000 likes like you always do. Soothing voice equals female caller. By the way, guys, go ahead and call. It's 8:55. I'm waiting for the next caller. You guys got me waiting here. Call in. James, go ahead. I'm taking anybody could call. Anybody could call. Yeah, get the stream to 50. I can't even see the likes, but get it to 50 likes. What's going on? You're on live with the entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Guess who?
I'm guessing based on the last comment, it's the sexy goat.
Nope.
Okay, who is it?
It's Bobby. This time it's at the house.
Okay, so Bobby was at the car. Now he's at the house. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, let's talk realistic here. I've read a couple of articles where on the Pats Rams. What do you think? Do you really think the Rams can keep up?
Well,
or the other way around?
I think it's gonna be a great game. I keep saying I think it's gonna be. I know you're a Patriots fan.
Because listen, I'm not a Patriots honk. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Rams are a better football team. I think the Rams are a better football team, but I think you guys have the experience. And
on paper, they're better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they have more talent.
The only spot on paper where the Patriots excel on paper is the quarterback spot
and the head coach.
But but I'm talking on the field, wise.
Right.
But it's the one spot that they kind of have the most edge in is the most important.
Of course. I mean, that's why.
And now I think I'm not like people think I'm crazy, but I think they're going to win by 10.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, the one thing I will say, the Patriots have never won by double digits in a Super Bowl.
Because to me the Saints would have been the better game. That would have been the closer game. We would not match up well against the Saints at all.
I actually disagree. Well, based on where it's being played, that's a fair argument because it's in a dome, and we all know that Saints offense, Drew Brees, they're more electric in a dome. But I actually think the Rams personnel is a tougher matchup for the Patriots because of their push they get up front with the defensive line, and they have a better running game. I mean, Todd Gurley, you could argue, is the best running back in the sport. And I know as a Giants fan, the way to beat you guys is to be able to run the ball effectively and to get after the quarterback. And I think the Rams are actually better equipped.
See, people think, this is where teams in the past have made huge mistakes versus the Patriots. You don't beat them from pressure around the edges. It's from the tackles in.
Well, but let me ask you this before you go on. Which team is better equipped in the whole NFL to get pressure from the tackles in? I mean, they have the best defensive tackle.
I was gonna get to that. So the position that's gonna win or lose this game for the Pats is the offensive line.
I agree.
If the offensive line plays well and you're not gonna slow down. I mean, you're not going to completely shut down Ndamukong Suh and Donald. You can't do that. They're two all-pros. The best you can hope for is to slow them down, not shut them down completely. Because there's nobody better in the game at stepping up from outside pressure and getting rid of the ball quick than Brady.
I agree. That's the key to this game. I mean, that's the key to most football games. But, yeah, especially with the Patriots because Brady's not the most mobile guy. If they can pass protect, Brady's going to pick them apart.
I'm telling you right now, if the Rams were smart, right, they would change things up. They like playing a lot of zone against us. And if they're smart, they'll play man. And try and beat up our receivers off the line because if they play zone, Brady's going to kill them.
I agree. I completely agree with that. Brady's
and people, but see everybody around all these there's a lot of people in New England that are saying that the Hawks, they're like they don't think this team has any deficiencies or anything. I'm telling you, our best defensive line, pass coverage linebacker is Kyle Van Noy. I mean, that's if I was the Rams, I'd throw in the flat the whole game and behind the linebackers.
Well, I think they will. I think they're going to use Gurley a lot in the running game and the passing game. He's their best weapon, and I think Cooks in a dome could be an interesting, because in the past I thought Tyreek Hill was gonna kill that team, your team, because he has mowed you in the past, and Cooks could be an interesting weapon in this game. I could see him getting over the top of your secondary a few times.
See, now I think they're going to take like J.C. Jackson, like a number 2 and a safety, and put him on Cooks. And I think they're going to put Gilmore on Robert Woods, because I think Woods is the real weapon in that offense.
Well, Woods is definitely the more consistent wide receiver. Cooks is the big play threat.
Well, Woods to them is like our Julian Edelman.
Exactly.
You take that third down, that 3rd and 8 down clutch option out of the play. It's a different ball game. And the key for the Pats is they can't, to me at least, they can't abandon the run. You can't, because if you turn one-dimensional against the Rams and just let those pass rushers, pin their ears back,
right,
it's going to be 2007, 2008 all over again. The Giants did that to them, and I mean, Humaniora, Strahan, that line tore us apart.
Right, and I think it's a similar. I'm not saying it's going to be the same result, but the Rams have a similar makeup to that Giants team, where they have a very good defensive line and they have the ability to pound the rock on offense. So that's why I actually think they match up well with you guys. I really do. I think they match up well with you guys.
If the here's what I think. If the Pats can get at least 85 yards on the ground, which is not a lot, but it's they'll run in. I think they'll run in key situations. If they can get 85 to 90 yards on the ground, I think they'll win this game. Anything less than that, and they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And of course, we both know how the Patriots attack in the short passing game. It's almost like a running game. They throw a lot out in the flat to the running backs, but it's going to be a really good game. I'm really looking forward to it. The only reason I say 10 plus is because to me, Bill's going to keep this game close through the half, and he's going to make Sean McVay show him everything. The Rams' inexperience, I think, in this is going to get them. Sean McVay is going to show Bill everything they have, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at the Pats to get up early on them, and then try and rely on that D to shut them down. But when you show Bill everything, it doesn't end up well. Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, there's nobody better at making adjustments. We'll see. It's an interesting matchup because talent-wise, it's the Rams. Experience-wise, it's the Patriots. Who's going to win? I mean, that's what it comes down to, because there's been a lot of times that the Patriots have made the Super Bowl where I thought they were the more talented team. I don't think that this year. So it's going to be really fun. Like last year, for example, I thought the Patriots were a more talented team than the Eagles, to be honest with you. Of course.
Oh, they were.
Yeah. But we'll see, man. I'm going to let you go, though, because I know a couple other people got to call in. But thank you so much for being a subscriber. Thank you for calling in.
No problem, but appreciate it. Talk to you later.
You got it, buddy. All right, guys, go ahead and try to call. All right, we got a caller calling in. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, what's going on, Chris? It's your boy, UCF Jaguar.
Oh my God, love UCF Jaguar. If you've not done so, go over there, sub them up. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man, dude. I just wanted to talk. I mean, my mind's just been all on quarterbacks lately, man, with the Jaguars needing to get a quarterback. And I got to tell you, man, I really think that there's a chance the Jaguars are going to go all in and honestly trade up to number 1. I'm just getting this gut feeling lately that they really want Haskins at that spot.
I'll tell you, I don't know. I haven't gotten a chance. I saw you put up some. I'm gonna check them out. I saw you put up some preview quarterback videos there. Have you done Haskins yet?
I haven't done Haskins yet. No, I've talked a little bit about it, but I've done Murray and I've done Drew Lock, but I'm gonna probably do Haskins next. But man, because I'm looking at the Super Bowls lately. Like the Eagles a few years ago when they drafted Wentz. They traded up twice. They moved from like 20s to like the 9 or 10, and then from there they moved up to number 2. And then Jared, when the Rams went up and got Jared Goff, they moved up from like 10 or 11 all the way to number 1. And those quarterbacks have literally been representing the NFC in like back-to-back Super Bowls. So man, like if you really think you like a guy at number 1, and if you really, really fall in love with the quarterback and you almost know that they're going to be a surefire thing, then you got to go do it. You know what I mean? Like, are you think the Rams and the Eagles are complaining right now about moving up to get their guys?
Oh, I don't disagree with that. The question is, do you think there's a quarterback in this year's draft worth doing that for? That's the question.
Yes. There's one quarterback, because I've been looking at a lot of quarterbacks, man. I really, like, when I watched the Senior Bowl the other day, there's 8 quarterbacks that were in it, and I actually did a whole ranking, of the performances that the quarterbacks did. All those guys to me look like second-round picks. I mean, maybe Drew Lock can be like, a guy that goes in the teens, but I didn't feel good about any of those guys. When I look around, man, I do like Kyler Murray, and I think Kyler Murray can be like really good, just because like the guy's incredibly accurate. His low moments aren't really all that low. Even when he does misfire on throws, they're not all that bad of like passes. But the thing is, obviously, his height, so it's not like that. It's height and size, so that's going to be a big thing, and obviously a big kind of negative on him.
I personally think if you're trading up, in my opinion, it's for Haskins, because even if, like, a lot of people like Murray, but to me, if you want to take him at 6 or 7, well, you're picking 7. If you want to take him at 7, go ahead. But I'm not giving up tons of assets to then go move up and draft a guy that has as many question marks as he has. So even if you love the guy, you can't deny that there's a ton of question marks with his height and the way he's going to have to play. So I agree with you. If I'm trading up, it would be for Haskins.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, man, like Haskins, while I do like Kyler Murray, he's not a surefire thing, but that's the way, you guys know how Tom Coughlin is. I mean, Kyler Murray doesn't seem like a Tom Coughlin guy, and like really just Haskins, man, like if they really do feel it there, because I think that roster is decent right now, and I think the Jaguars front office probably thinks it's better than most people think, and they probably think that they're a quarterback away. So like, I really think that they could do a big thing and like trade up with the Cardinals.
What do you think?
Try to get that spot.
What do you think you'd have to give up to move from 7 to 1? Because like you look at the Jets last year, they moved from 6 to 3, and they gave up 3 seconds. Plus, obviously, their 6th overall pick. So, what do you think it would cost?
Well, it would definitely be next year's first-round pick. It'd probably be next year's first-round pick, second-round pick. Obviously, this year's our first-round pick from this year. We have a second-round pick, and we have 2 third-round picks this year. So, probably, I mean, if it's what I would want to do is maybe, give up this year, if we're going to give up, maybe our first 3-round picks, a pick in the first round, second round, and then one of our third-round picks. Maybe the Rams' third-round pick, because that's what we got for Fowler. And then next year, trading away our first-round pick and a second-round pick. Like, it's going to obviously take a haul. But I mean, if you hit on the quarterback, all that goes away, and it's so well worth it. And like, in Jacksonville, I've never had a quarterback. I've never had a good quarterback. Like, the best quarterback in franchise history has been Mark Brunell, and like, I'm only 25 years old, so I really didn't get to watch him much. Like, by the time he was off the Jaguars, I think I was like 7 or 8 years old, so I don't have that much memory of him.
Brunell was really good for about 3 or 4 years for you guys.
Yeah, so I look at it, man. Probably the best quarterback the Jags have had really has been probably David Garrard. I mean,
oh God,
honestly.
I mean he had that one really good year. I remember he had like a 21 touchdowns and 3 picks. It's something like where he only threw like 3 picks that year. He was efficient. You guys made the playoffs, but
yeah, I mean Blake Bortles is literally top 3 in every category.
That's
for
horrible.
Like the Jaguars in passing. It's ridiculous.
That's horrible. But I agree with you. If he's your guy, it's worth trading up for, and it makes a lot of sense for the Cardinals. Now, the other thing I'll ask you, though, and then I'm going to let you go because I got have a couple more people calling, but I love talking to you. And please sub up UCF Jaguar. But the other thing I'm going to ask you is, with the top 4 picks, top 5 picks, really, because Tampa Bay seems committed to Winston, if you're the Jaguars, other than, I guess, having the worry that somebody might jump you, why not wait till pick 3? Why not wait till pick 4 to try to trade up, where you don't have to give up as much capital?
Well, here's the thing, man. Like, you got to worry about other teams. Like, remember back in the day in 2016 or 2017? No, it was 2017 where
Literally, the 49ers were on the clock at number 2. At number 3 was the Bears. The 49ers had just signed, Jimmy Garoppolo. They weren't getting a quarterback, but they trade all these assets to move up one spot because there's all these teams behind them looking to probably trade up too. And like, I just feel like, they're going to be too worried that there's going to be a team that tries to hop them. Like maybe wait till pick 3 or something like that. I mean, it had to be a draft day thing if you're going to do that. You have to do it on.
Yeah.
draft
Oh no,
day
you're not doing.
because
You're not doing it before the draft. That's for damn sure. Because then you run the risk of somebody jumping you. But that's gonna be interesting. I think the Jaguars are probably the favorite to trade up if there is a team that will do it. And just like you said with Coughlin, I feel the same way with the Giants. I feel like Murray doesn't fit what the Giants are trying to do either at the quarterback position. I think they have a very similar philosophy on the type of quarterback they want, and I think the Jaguars know that. So if they like Haskins, I think they will trade up.
Yeah, and I think the ideal fit for Kyler Murray would probably be, honestly, the New Orleans Saints. Like, if you were to sit behind Drew Brees for a year, and then all of a sudden he transitions into that offense, with Kamara and Michael Thomas, like, with that spread system, like, I think that would be a great fit.
That's
for
actually,
Murray.
I didn't even think about this. I said the Redskins earlier. I think I predicted the Redskins at 15. But now that you bring that up, with Sean Payton's offensive mind in that dome, that could be lethal with Kyler Murray. That's actually a good fit.
Yeah, so that was just my take. But yeah, man,
guard him on the turf like that.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be, everyone thinks about, what team would want to get him, what's the best situation for a team to have him. But I mean, if you think of the best situation for Kyler Murray, I think the Saints are definitely best. But yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on. I'll get off so you can get some other callers. But you have a good night, man.
You got it, man. Thank you for calling in. Yeah, Sperm, so I want to show him respect. I love UCF Jaguars. So if he calls in, I'm going to give him a few extra minutes. He's a really good YouTuber. And he doesn't call in all the time. But yeah, I'll be taking calls for another half hour or so. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hello. I got so used to hearing it. It sounds like an answering machine.
What's going on? Who's this?
This is James.
James, what's going on, my man? What do you want to talk about? You got it, UCF. Please sub him up right there. Sub up his channel. Great guy over there. What's going on?
Oh, I just got to ask, do you think there's a chance of OKC going for Anthony Davis?
Do I think there's a chance of OKC going for Anthony Davis? They're not supposed to be one of the teams that are rumored to be in the running. I mean, I've read 3 or 4 teams. OKC's not one of them. They don't have much to trade. I mean, OKC's not going to have a high draft pick right now. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're 3rd or 4th in the West, so they're not going to have a great draft pick next year. You're not trading Westbrook. They don't have much to offer. So it's not a good match.
I was thinking, because we have a lot of young talent, like Nader. I mean, if we trade a whole bunch of young guys that have a bit of talent, I think we have a chance, but I think the Pelicans are going to want some picks too, and which, like you said, we don't have.
Yeah, if I'm trading a guy like Anthony Davis, I want early first-round picks. That's my primary objective. And so I personally think the worser teams, that may have a... That's why I think the Knicks are a good fit. It's just a matter of, do the Knicks want to do it? Because they have a young superstar in Porzingis, and they're going to have an early pick. So we'll see where it goes. But no, I don't think OKC is a realistic option.
Okay.
Right, go ahead.
I don't think the Knicks would trade Porzingis.
I don't know. This is all hypothetical on whether the Knicks would do it or not. But I think the Knicks have that option. I don't think OKC even has an option. I don't think they have anything in place where they'd be able to acquire a player of that caliber. Because obviously OKC's a better team, but they don't have the young assets that the Knicks will. When you have a top 2 or 3 pick, that is such a valuable asset. And you're not trading Westbrook. So that's just my thought on it.
Especially with the Knicks, they're not doing great. They do have a lot of young talent in Porzingis. They're probably definitely going to have a lottery pick.
Yeah, they got Knox also.
Yeah,
So,
and Knox.
Yeah. But we'll see, man. I'm trying to get as many calls as I can. I want to say thank you for calling in. And thank you for being a great subscriber.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Oh, that's right. Goodfellow's an OKC fan, too. But I think even Goodfellow would tell you there's no way they're in the running for an AD. It's cool. Oh, yeah, they're definitely tanking, Eddie. That's blatantly obvious. I mean, they're sitting in Ez Cantor. I'm not the biggest Cantor guy in the world. The guy don't play defense, but to not give him any minutes, it's clearly obvious what the Knicks are doing. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, it's Mr. Bad Dogs #1 fan.
I'm sorry, who is this?
Bad Dogs #1 fan.
Bad Dogs #1 fan. What's going on, man? Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, man, what's good?
Nothing much, man. What do you want to talk about?
I want to pick up the topic of the Anthony Davis trade.
Yeah, we've been talking Davis all night. I'm all about it. This show is always going to be like, what's the hot topic of the day? And it just so happened that today, the hot topic in New York sports is Davis. So I expect a lot of basketball talk. But what's going on, man? What do you want to talk about?
So, I don't really see any possible destinations outside of Toronto, but we'd have to trade a lot of their guys, Boston or LA.
So you don't think New York's even possible?
The only way New York could possibly get Anthony Davis is tanking hard, getting the #1 pick, so New Orleans could guarantee they get Zion or wherever they want, and then also trading young talent like Kevin Knox.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I agree with you. And I don't know if I would do that, but that's why I think the Knicks are in play, because they could potentially do that. They could give up the #1 overall pick to acquire this guy. He's that talented, and he's still very young. He's 25 years old.
And you're not wrong there, but I think some people aren't counting on Toronto being a possible option. But with guys like Spicy P, Anunoby, and also the star power of Kawhi and Kyle, even in free agency, it might be appealing for Anthony Davis to go there.
Well, that wouldn't be next year, though. That would be the following year in free agency.
I don't know, but even at the trade, like Van Vliet, Anunoby, Spicy P, and like a few picks.
I don't know, because if I'm New Orleans, I want early first-round picks. Toronto, I mean, that's basically a second-round pick. I don't know, maybe. I agree, in free agency, they make a lot of sense if the money's there, and if you wanted to go to Toronto. If I'm Anthony Davis, I don't know if that's the best for my brand to be going to Toronto, but yeah, if he wants to win a championship as in free agency, that would make a lot of sense. I don't think they're a trade. I don't think they're a trade target, though.
I mean, yeah, but just saying, if Anthony Davis wants to compete, Toronto's an option. But like with LA as well.
No, LA's definitely in play. LA's the favorite right now to land him. They're definitely in play.
But also, Boston couldn't get Anthony Davis this season because of the Derrick Rose rule.
Right.
Which is eventually yeah.
We'll see. I mean, they've been saying Boston for a few years now with Anthony Davis. We'll see. I'm really interested to see how it plays out. I'm just hoping as a Knicks fan we get him, but it depends on what we give up. But it's exciting to know that it's even a possibility. I'm reading reports that saying the Knicks are putting deals together. It's all hearsay and it's rumors, but it's nice just to have that possibility that we could potentially have the best player on the planet on the New York Knicks in 2 years. So it's just exciting to even talk about.
Yeah, and being a Hornets fan, so like I have much to look forward to in this deal.
Yeah. But I'm going to let you go because I want to try to get as many people as I can on. So thank you for calling in, my man.
All right, man. See ya.
All right. The Knicks win again, 10-39, Jose. The tank is alive. You cannot stop this tank. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We got 9:19. We're going to be live for about another 20 minutes. All right, next caller. You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, yo, Chris, why are you whipping on all these women?
What's going on, Sperm Cell?
When that next time Kendra or Whitney calls in, you got to tell them, I haven't been able to dispose of that marinara sauce since my high school days.
Oh, God. Oh, Sperm Cell, you're a lunatic. But, anything you want to talk about, or is it just jokes?
Just jokes.
All right. I'm gonna let you go because I want to try to get some people on that want to talk sports.
Okay.
All right, man. Thank you for calling in. The Gifted Podcast says Tank is strong with Trey Burke as tank. Yeah, Trey Burke is the tank. Well, the whole team. The whole team's tank commander. Aunt G. But we're talking marinara sauce now on the show, as Sperm Cell calls in. So it's 9:20. We're gonna be live for another 20 minutes. So feel free to call in. Ligma, I don't know if Ligma tunes into my videos. I haven't seen him in the streams lately, though. He's not banned. I don't think so. I'll go back and check, but I don't think he's banned because he comments on my videos. Burritos, MH. All right, you're on live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
New York Kendra versus New York Whitney. Who wins the sauce bowl?
Oh God.
It's Joe Boosa. I'm still waiting for my wrench. My toolbox is empty.
You're gonna get a full wrench. You're gonna get a full wrench after the show. I'm gonna go back in.
With Vaseline? With Vaseline or what?
What is that?
With Vaseline?
With Vaseline. You're gonna absolutely WD-40, whatever you want. You're gonna get a wrench. And who was the other one? I said, Goquan Barkley's gonna get a wrench.
But you didn't answer my question. Who wins? New York Whitney or New York Kendra?
I gotta go Whitney because she's a Giants fan. Kendra's a Cowboy fan.
The marinara sauce Super Bowl winner. Stand up, New York Jet fans.
There you go, Joe. Oh, I didn't mean to hang up on you, Joe. I thought you were saying goodbye there. But stand up, yeah. Kevo's in the chat. If you haven't done so, please go over there, sub up Kevo. He's a big Cowboy fan, Knick fan. Sub him up. He's a hard worker there on YouTube. He streams every game known to man. Have a good one, Eddie. Thank you for tuning into the stream. Kendra's the Cowboy fan. She called in earlier. Everyone keeps saying I'm blushing. I ain't blushing. Vaughn, that's a tough question there. I'd say constipation. I know they lost. 10-39. 10-39. The tank is alive. As we're waiting for another caller, it's 9:22. We're going to let this go till about 9:40. If nobody calls... All right, here we go. We got a caller. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hello, this is Cushman Baseball Chat again.
What's up, man? What's going on? What do you want to talk about?
All right, I have the perfect trade for Anthony Davis.
All right, give it to me.
You trade Tim Hardaway Jr.
All right, you've already lost me. Tim Hardaway Jr. is
a second-round pick, and that will get you Anthony Davis. There you go.
All right, I'm gonna let you go after that because that is the worst trade proposal of all time. But I know you're kidding. I know you're kidding.
All right.
That is the worst. Tim Hardaway Jr. Nobody would trade for him. He's garbage. But that's
maybe if the Pelicans are feeling really stingy, you'll have to throw in Trey Burke.
Yeah, Trey Burke. I mean, are we just gonna give us all the horrible Knicks? We can give him the whole team. Give him the whole team except for Knox and Porzingis. Go ahead, take them all.
Honestly, I was joking about that before.
No, I know you're joking. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I know you're joking.
But honestly, if you could trade the entire team besides Knox and Porzingis, and then just have AD, Porzingis, and Knox, I mean, there's building points from that.
Of course, that team would be a championship contender. You know, because when you get players like that on your team, you get the vets that come for the league minimum. You know, there's still the good players that are looking to win championships. If you could get AD, KP on the same team...
You get the people from the buyout market.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it'd be a no-brainer if you could do
it. So
I
think all it will cost is Tim Hardaway Jr. and a second-round pick.
All right, Joe, thank you for that.
Joe?
No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at Cushman.
Yeah, all right.
All right, buddy. Thank you for calling in.
I don't know why I called in. I just felt like saying that.
I know. Have a good one, my man.
You too.
Let's see. What's going on, Detonator? Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be live for another 15, 20 minutes. All right, Gangrene. That's good to know. I didn't blush. Did I really blush, MH? All right, so we got 15 minutes. Please call in if you haven't done so, and we're going to call it a night soon. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, this is Detonator.
What's going on, buddy? What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? I just got here. Sorry, I had a big day today, so I had to work.
I mean, we've been talking about everything. We've been talking about Super Bowl. We've been talking not a lot of baseball talk. We're talking about Super Bowl. Mainly, it's been the Anthony Davis rumor, the Knicks involvement, little Jets talk here and there, but not a lot of Giants talk tonight. We had a couple of Giants callers, Kyler Murray, draft prospects. But what do you want to talk about?
So where do you see your Giants in the next, let's say, 5 years? Like, how many winning seasons within the next 5 years do you see your Giants?
3.
3?
Yeah, I love our general manager. I think he's going to do exactly what he did for Carolina. He went into Carolina. They were the worst team, one of the worst teams in football. 3 years later, they were in a Super Bowl. I think he's starting to build the team the same exact way he did with Carolina, from the inside out. And I think the Giants are in good shape. A lot of people knocked us for taking Barkley. I don't think so. I think this team's going to be really good in 2 years.
I was actually having you guys having 4. I thought that next year would be probably one of the last years you'll have a losing season, or maybe this might be a 500 as it is. But I picked you guys having at least 4 for.
Yeah, I'm being conservative. Being conservative, but I think let's put it this way. I think the Giants are headed in the right direction, and I think they're headed
definitely.
I think they're headed in the direction where they're going to have sustained success for a decent period, 3-4 years.
All right, now same question about the Jets. Where do you see the Jets in the next 5 years? How many winning seasons?
Got to see what they do in free agency. Got to see how Sam Darnold progresses. But, I mean, I think the Jets are heading in the right direction. I think the Jets, I say next year they finish just under 500, 7-9. They might win 8. I think they're going to be really good in 2 or 3 years. They're going to be really good.
All right. And also, what do you think really, because going into the draft, everyone was hyping up about the top 3 quarterbacks would probably be Mayfield, Rosen, and Darnold. Now, we saw Mayfield do really, really well this season. We saw Darnold do, pretty all right. But what do you think really stunted Rosen? Because he really didn't have the best of starts.
I was never a Rosen guy. A lot of people loved his physical attributes. And he still might be really good. And one thing I'll say about Rosen, which makes him even more disappointing to me, I think of all the quarterbacks, he got put in the best situation. I thought going into the year, he's in a warm weather climate. You figure Fitzgerald's still got something left. You got David Johnson in the backfield. Josh Allen got put in a horrible situation. Mayfield got put in a pretty good situation. Chubb turned out to be a good running back. They surrounded him with nice pieces with Landry. But Rosen was the most disappointing rookie by far last year. Not even close.
Yeah, definitely.
Could he bounce back? 100% he could. And I will say Cliff Kingsbury is a very innovative offensive mind, and we'll see. They might throw the ball more. It might open up the playbook. Rosen might play better. We'll see. But some of it had to do with the coaching, I'm sure. And they definitely didn't use David Johnson properly. They didn't use him enough out of the backfield.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, they didn't use him enough out of the backfield as a wide receiver. So we'll see. We'll see if they bring some more innovation, more big plays. I'm looking forward to next year, see how Rosen progresses.
I was never, like you said, I was never a Rosen fan just because his attitude going into it. How he said, apparently he was disappointed about where he was picked. And, just don't worry about that. He was still picked first round, and I think he has promise in the league. I don't think, though, going into it, I just didn't like his attitude going into the draft.
I'm with you. I'm not a Rosen guy. I don't think he would have ever succeeded in New York. I was so happy when the Giants passed on him because I don't think he would have made it here. I really don't.
That's the one thing that when JC was talking about how he was a big Rosen fan, so one thing I disagreed with him on. It was just I just couldn't see him actually doing something in the league.
Well, I think everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I think when JC was evaluating Rosen, and he's a huge Rosen guy, he still is, he was looking at his mechanics, he was looking at his physical attributes. But when I assess the quarterback, I look just as much at how I think they'd fit in New York, in the New York market. Because I know as a Giants fan, Eli Manning was perfect for New York. I don't think Rosen would have been. I think Rosen would have been horrible I do. Mayfield would have been perfect for you guys. I really do. I think Mayfield would have been perfect for the Jets. But I still like Darnold. I still like Darnold. I just don't think Rosen would have made it here. I don't think he would have handled the media well. I don't think he's a leader. I'm not a Rosen guy. I'm not a Rosen guy.
Yeah, no, he just. I mean, we'll see what happens in the next couple years, But he's definitely has some growing. Again, it's only his rookie season. Yes, probably one of the most disappointing from the first round, but he definitely has huge promise. But we just got to see what he does.
Yeah, we'll see. Thank you for calling in, buddy.
Oh, yeah. See you later.
All right, have a good one. Word on the street is sperm cell is a virgin. That's what I've heard. Please do this until 10. I can't do it till 10. I got to stop at 9:40. I'm extending it further than I thought I was. 9:45 is the latest. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Jose. I think I agree with you on that. What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hello?
What's up?
Hi.
Who's this?
It's Patrick.
Patrick, can you turn down the volume in the background? There's an echo.
Oh, sorry. Hello?
Yeah, you there?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
How would you feel if the Warriors get another championship this season?
I'm sorry, you got to speak louder. I can barely hear you.
How would you feel if the Warriors got another championship this season?
I mean, I expect it. I mean, I always say they're like the Avengers. I mean, they have every piece known to man. They got an all-star at every position. I mean, I expect it. I'd be shocked if they didn't win. That's the problem with the NBA now. I mean, I'm not blaming LeBron James. The Celtics were actually the ones who started that. When Ray Allen teamed up with Garnett and Pierce, and they became this superstar team. But that's what the NBA's become now. Everybody buddies up. So I expected it. It's what the NBA's become now. I'm not going to be upset. It's what I expect.
I was watching a stream earlier, and you were talking about Anthony Davis might go to the Knicks. How would if he does go to the Knicks this offseason, how would you think the Knicks will start playing next season?
I'm sorry, what was the question? Anthony Davis, you said?
Yes, I was watching the stream earlier, and you were talking about him. What if he was going to go to the Knicks? If he did go to the Knicks this offseason, how would you think he will play in that environment?
Again, it's all circumstantial. It depends what we give up to get him. You got to tell me what pieces are still here. Is Kristaps Porzingis still here? Did we give up the first overall pick? Do we now have, who's the rookie that we brought in? Zion Williamson. It's all circumstantial on the pieces that are here. Is Knox still here? But Anthony Davis is the type of player that changes a franchise by himself. The guy's arguably the best player in the league. That's how good this guy is. If you have a chance to get this guy, you go and get him. So he'd make this team instantly a competitive team. There's no doubt about it.
What do you think about the Super Bowl this weekend?
What do I think about the Super Bowl this week? I mean, I've said that a million times, but I think the Patriots are going to win. I think it's going to be a really good game. We'll see. What about you? Give me a final score, then I'm going to let you go because other people are trying to call in.
Let's see. Maybe 27-17.
Pats?
Yes.
There you go, 27-17. Thank you for calling in, buddy.
Okay, bye.
Have a good night. I appreciate that, Enzo. Thank you very much. And Kevo, I've been working all day. I put out 2 videos. I'm streaming. Going to go for 12 more minutes. 9:45, then we're going to call it quits. I'm going to head over to Bad Dogs. I'll hang out there. I'll probably go over to Sims 2. Check that stream out. Love both those guys. Sub them both up. Nothing but Knicks, Mr. Bad Dog 7676. What's going on? Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Entertainer. How you doing?
What's going on? Who's this?
GG Plays.
All right, Jose Reyes. Thank you for calling in. Joe Musa, my God. Joe Musa, you are terrific. And you will you're going to get a whole tool bag. That's his second donation tonight. I really appreciate Joe Musa. He's shown my channel so much respect since he's gotten here. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. But go ahead. What's up, man?
I was wondering, I'm a Giants fan myself, and how do you think the Giants can improve this offseason?
Again, I mean, the only 2 ways they can. It's through the draft and free agency, and you have to... The three areas I keep harping on: offensive line, pass rush, quarterback. Those are your 3 options. if you want to immediately compete next year, your best bet is to improve the offensive line and pass rush. If you're thinking long term and you like a quarterback, you go out, you take a quarterback. Those are the two avenues we could go as Giants fans this year in the draft.
And also, what do you think can be some winning factors for both teams in the Super Bowl this weekend?
I'm sorry?
What do you think can be some winning factors for both teams in the Super Bowl this weekend?
I mean, if the Rams are going to win this game, it's gonna be in the trenches. You're going to get pressure on Brady without sending a blitz. You're going to force the Patriots to pass, and that's how you're going to win. If you could stuff the run and get pressure on Brady, that's how they will win. And they got to control. They got to control the line of scrimmage on the other side. Gurley's going to have a good game. And for the Patriots, it's vice versa. If the Patriots can establish a ground game, it's going to be a long day for the Rams. Because when that Patriots offense is unpredictable with Brady and Belichick, it's lights out. So that's what it's going to come down to, really. The Rams and I think the Rams can do it. I really do. I think they can definitely do it. They have a great defensive line, great interior push up front. If they can do that, the Rams can and probably will win this game. If they make the Patriots one-dimensional, that is the key to this football game. Anything else? All right, buddy, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for calling in.
All right, you're welcome.
Enzo, I love you, my man. I love you, my man. MH says, Chris is like a fine wine that travels through the valley of Dolphin Chest. What are you even talking about? All right, next caller. Well, what's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in. Who's Mark? What's up, buddy? I see who's Mark's in the chat. What's up? What's going on? You're on Live with the Entertainer.
Yo, Entertainer, my man. How you living, bud?
My man, Christopher Columbus. What's up? I don't know if you were in earlier. UCF Jaguar made a call. He called in.
No, I'm sorry, brother. I was out and about. I'm actually surprised you're still streaming, man. I came right back, and YouTube was the first thing I jumped on. I wanted to see if I can get a chance to call in. You know, I didn't want to miss my spot.
Yeah. Before, I just want to answer Who's Mark, because I love Who's Mark. Who's Mark? I will wait for you to call in, but the only thing is, I don't know if you're new to this, since I've been doing these call-ins, don't call in while I'm talking, because I don't have a hold feature. But yeah, out of courtesy, I love Who's Mark. So I'm going to give Who's Mark a chance to call in. Huge Knicks fan, and we got a lot to talk about. So I'm going to let Who's Mark call in after I get off the phone with Christopher Columbus. So please, nobody call in. I want Who's Mark to get a chance to call in, because a lot of people have already called in. But go ahead, my man.
Yo, thanks a lot, brother. I appreciate you letting me getting a chance to call in as one of the last callers, man. Just wanted to show, just want to stop by and show my love and support, man. I don't really have a topic to talk about, but if you want to throw something my way, man, I'm not shy about answering it.
Yeah, no, I always appreciate you. I mean, you're one of my best subs, man. So I always appreciate when you tune in my streams, you check my videos, you call in. I mean, the topic I was talking about with UCF Jaguar, and you're a Jaguar fan, so I guess we'll talk about that real quick. He called in, and he said that if he wants the Jaguars to trade up to the number 1 overall pick. He said that he would give up this year's first, this year's second, next year's first, to go ahead and move up and get Dwayne Haskins. He said he's a huge believer in Dwayne Haskins, and that's what he'd be willing to do. And he said I mean, in an ideal world, he'd want to have to wait until the 3rd or 4th pick because you wouldn't have to give up as much, but he wouldn't be willing to take that chance. He wants to go up and get a quarterback, and he believes in Haskins, and that since he's been watching the team, he hasn't had a quarterback to root for. So that's what he wants in this draft.
Damn, man. I'm a big advocate of UCF. He's one of the very first streamers I tuned in with, and I hardly disagree with him, but I'm gonna have to disagree with him on this one, man. It's just for me, it is very, very risky to put all your eggs in one basket on Haskins. From what we've seen, he looks like a great prospect, but for me personally, I need to see a lot more before I'm going to give up, multiple first-round picks for the guy. You know what I mean? I understand, how we've missed previous opportunities, with, different franchise quarterbacks. But you know what, man? I wouldn't want to put all my eggs in that basket. For me, personally, I like to go the opposite route. I would like the Jacksonville Jaguars to trade down and potentially see what else we could get as far as who else may want to take that number 7 spot.
You know what? Great minds think alike, because as a Giants fan, I want to do the same exact thing in an ideal world. I wouldn't be upset if we take Haskins at 6, but I don't think there's a quarterback in this year's draft worth trading up for. I think Haskins at 6, maybe he's worth it there, depending on what he does at the combine, or whoever the quarterback is. if he falls in your lap, but I wouldn't trade up. I'm not giving up future assets for any quarterback in this draft. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. It's just too much to risk. In my opinion, I think the next year's draft class is going to have some very, very fine quarterbacks, and I wouldn't want to miss out on my opportunity to potentially snag one of them. So, I kind of like the free agent aspect. I'm all for trading Leonard Fournette for Nick Foles. I know a lot of Eagles fans may not want to get him. I want to get rid of him. Dude hasn't seen, a full season since, I'm not even sure if he's completed a full season in LSU. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But as far as the NFL, he's yet to become that real spokesperson. The Jacksonville Jaguars put a lot of faith in the Leonard Fournette. They gave him a C on his chest, and they built the offense around him. And, that's not really, paying dividend to our franchise right now.
And Fournette, and I like Fournette. I mean, in college, they were saying he was, I wouldn't say he was the next, Barkley was probably a little higher regarded, but I remember in college they were saying Fournette was going to be the next big thing. And Fournette, to me, though, he's like a poor man's Ezekiel Elliott. He's not really like today's running back, right? He's not this dual threat guy, this shifty running back. He's like an Elliott, but not as good. If you catch my drift.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I like Fournette, but he's definitely not a guy that I think that I would want to. On a Super Bowl caliber team, I don't think he's that special of a back that you could build your offense around him, like a Barkley or like a Gurley. I don't think he's on that level.
He's a great running back. We can both agree. We can both agree on that, wholeheartedly. But just for me, I just see too many problems with the guy. He can never stay healthy. He's always got problems in and off the field. He's just not 100%, into the Jacksonville Jaguars. He gave an interview, like 3-4 months ago, and he was talking to the reporter, and the reporter asked him, how he felt, physically about, his appearance, his condition, etc. And he basically just said, I could be a lot in better shape, I could be doing more. And it's just like, why aren't you, man? You should be doing everything that you could be doing to help benefit yourself as much as your team. So for me, man, I say get rid of him. I say trade him. If you can even get, like a first and a second round pick for the guy, I say let him go. And I say be smart about your draft picks. And yeah, man, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are a quarterback and a running back and an O-line, a few things away from being really big contenders. But, brother, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know you're trying to end this at 40. It's already 40 now, so I'm going to let that last guy call in. But
yeah, man, you're the best, man. I always, my best subscribers, the guys who call in and give good content, they call in. I'm always going to give you guys extra time. I know there's going to be a lot of people that come on here for fun, and that's part of the show. People want to get laughs, and I'm always going to allow that too, but you're one of my better callers, so I'm always going to give you a couple extra minutes, so thank you for calling.
Hey, man, don't you get it twisted, man. I am the best caller, and I am the number one fan of the entertainer. All right, brother, don't you get it twisted now.
All right, my man, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for calling in, man. I'm looking forward to talking to you in the future.
All right, brother. Have a good night, man.
All right, man, have a good one. So we are going to open up the lines. I don't know his number, so I'm hoping the next caller, nobody call. Let Who's Mark call in. He hasn't called yet. He's a great personality. He knows a ton about the Knicks. So let Who's Mark call in. Who's Mark, give me a call. 914-481-3540. And by the way, I saw... I missed it. I'm sorry. Who's Mark? Go ahead and call in, buddy. The lines are open. There he is. What's going on, buddy? Mark? Hello? Mark?
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you now, buddy. What's going on?
Yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. What's up, man?
I'm all right. How you doing tonight?
I got a lot to talk about. You're a big, you're a big Knick guy.
Listen, I'm excited, so my brain is just all over the place, in a good way.
Yeah, let's talk about it. You're a big Porzingis fan. I know that.
Listen, I'm torn. Well, all right. Hold on. There's many ways this thing can go. It can go in so many ways.
Right.
It's all up to, let's say, It's all up to we have to wait for 10 days before the trading deadline.
Right.
Because we have the pieces in place to get this motherboard of a player.
The best player on the planet. I mean, one of the best players on the planet. I mean, you get an opportunity to get Anthony Davis. You throw whatever you can to get this guy.
Yes. So now that you bring up Porzingis, there isn't a necessary way we don't have to give him up. Because there's scenarios where it will be Knox, Mitchell, Frank, Tim Hardaway, our first round pick of this year. Listen, I don't care. I'm throwing this first year pick like I'm throwing it. Zion is nowhere near Anthony Davis' atmosphere. 2021 first pick, unprotected.
Wait. I just want to tell you, I'm going to give you my argument as to why I wouldn't want to give up this year's first round pick. And I know you're not a Zion guy. I know you're not a...
It's not about Zion. There's no one coming out in this draft.
But think about but before you go
Hold on. Because this all plays in right now. Anthony Davis plays a big role more than anybody thinks right now.
Go ahead.
So we will have the 2021 pick given it to them, and I think a 2020 second round pick. Those four players, I don't care. I'm throwing the books. I don't care. I want Anthony Davis.
So let's go over this hypothetical trade again from the start. You're giving him a 2019 first.
Yep.
You're giving a 2020 second, and you're giving a 2021 first.
Unprotected. That's unprotected, meaning that if we're a good team by then, and it basically
it's a late first.
Yeah, so basically we will end up almost like keeping that pick out. I think that's what unprotected is. I'm not too sure. I got to look that up.
And what else?
But
another player with that?
Frank, Mitchell, Knox, and Tim Hardaway.
You're giving up. Wait. You're giving up. And I'm not a Frank guy. I don't mind that. Yeah. You're giving up Knox and two first round picks in a second, and potentially the number one overall pick in this year's draft.
Let me ask you a question. If you did that and you was able to get Anthony Davis keeping Porzingis and Kyrie Irving, would you do it?
All right, let me tell you this, and let me tell you why I don't know if I agree with this idea. And I said it earlier, you probably weren't on the show. If you have whether or not I know you're not a huge Zion guy, but having that first pick, you have the ability to draft a potential superstar.
No, he's not Anthony Davis.
I'm not saying he is Anthony Davis, but you're going to be paying that guy $8 million a year for the first 4 years of his contract. So you have the ability to then use that money to go get another max player.
No. But listen. If I have Anthony Davis, bro, he's gonna get me other players. You're not getting.
But you don't think Zion and KP can get you other players?
No. Now that I'm looking at it, no way. Because now here's the dilemma. There is a rumbling that, like I was saying, there was a rumbling. This is why I wanted to clear freaking cap as much as possible. That Kyrie Irving might not sign. Because you know why? Guess who kept in contact with each other through the All-Star break? Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. And there's a report that Anthony Davis don't even want to play for Boston.
You know what? I'm not going to interrupt you. You know what? People are liking Mark, and I like Mark so much. We're going to extend this show. I'm going to keep him on for 15 more minutes. We're going to talk about this. And I'm going to bring him in via video. So hold on. I'm going to bring you in via
they gotta see my reaction.
Video. So hold on 1 second. I gotta bring you in 1 second. It's not gonna be well done because I wasn't expecting this, but I love Mark, and I actually want to have a Knicks show with you one of these days where we just talk straight Knicks for about.
I could talk football, anything you want, bro. I'm all into it.
We're gonna bring you on one of these days, for about 2 hours, and we're just gonna talk straight Knicks or whatever. But hold on, let me bring you in, man. Hold on.
Go ahead, bro.
Where are you? Display capture. There it is. All right. I just got to shrink you down, and then you will be on the stream.
All right. So it's either because these reports I was just slinging out today was just hitting me in the heart. I was just excited because I'm hearing Kyrie don't want to. There's a rumbling that he might not sign back with Kyrie, and there was always a possibility that he was not going to sign with the Celtics. Kyrie is a weird dude. He's a weird dude, and you can't gauge him. So there was always, for me in my believing, there was always a 50-50 chance that he might stay with Boston or he might leave. But then again, if we got Anthony Davis he's an established superstar, guaranteed bona fide superstar.
Right.
You got to understand something. Zion, I want to know if his skills. My thing is, I'm scared of him.
Why are you scared of Zion? Because I hear everybody. I hear the negatives.
Because all right, one thing about him, he plays hard. I won't deny that he plays hard, but his dribbling ain't elite for NBA basketball. When you watch Duke, he's more about he's rim running. He can't shoot. He cannot shoot. shoot.
I'm gonna give you a couple players he reminds me of. He reminds me of Griffin before he came into the league. Very athletic, but he's small. He's a little undersized, but he reminds me of that type of player. Amari, before he came into the league, Amari, of course, improved his jump shot while he got into the pros.
He plays harder than Griffin. One thing, he has a work ethic, but I'm just afraid of him being 6'7". He's not 6'8". He's not 6'9".
Well, so was Barkley, though.
No, Blake is 6'9", 6'10".
Barkley.
Oh, yeah, but he was different because he had an offensive ability. Zion don't have an offensive ability.
He's still 19 years old.
He's still 19 years old. But listen to this, entertainer. Listen to this, because what Knicks fans are understanding, when Porzingis come back, we're on a Pacific timeline with his age, with his time on the floor. With having Knox at 19, we don't know what he is from. We haven't seen nights of him consistently keeping his motor well enough to go to him so Porzingis can rely on somebody. You're not understanding something. Porzingis has to rely on somebody to go with him. He cannot have these players. When I watch the Knicks, I'm going to speak about tonight and the thing I've been harping on about our guards and stuff like that. But
I mean, our guards are the worst. I mean, there's not much to talk about. I don't think any of them are the part of the future.
We have to. And listen, if we got Anthony Davis, that's going to put us right into contention. That's going to put us in contention. Because this is New York City. And if we get one of these established players, one of them, just one of them, even if it's Anthony Davis, that could get us Kevin Durant or that could get us Kyrie. One of those two.
Could you imagine the New York Knicks if we got Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant on the same team? Could you imagine that?
Listen, and where would that put us? That would put us right into championship contention. What are y'all waiting for? Y'all waiting for developing players to we don't even know we're gonna sneak the play. We don't even know we're gonna bona fide sneak the playoffs if we had what we going into next year. We don't know that. But what I do know, if I have Anthony Davis on my team, I can bet that I can go out into free agency and lure anybody of talent, with y'all understand, with talent to come here and play. Because if y'all think Lakers is big enough, guess what? New York is big enough when you got the right players. And Anthony Davis, if he comes here, when I heard the Knicks was in play for him today, I'm at work. I wanted to leave.
Every time I talk to Mark, and I've talked to him off camera, off of YouTube. Every time I talk to who's Mark, he's watching basketball. He's the most passionate basketball fan I know, and everything you get is real. And John, what was it? James says I'd rather Kyrie than Davis. No way, Kyrie over Davis.
Hold on. I want people to understand something. Anthony Davis is a rim protector. He averages over 28 points, 13 rebounds, 2 to 3 assists a game, and nearly 3 to 4 blocks a game. Are you kidding me? If you put him with Porzingis on that front line, what I can't understand is Knox and Zion is not going to be in the stratosphere of Anthony Davis, and he's 25 years old. What are y'all not getting? He's 25. He didn't even touch his prime yet. He didn't sniff it. He's this elite. He is this elite at this age. You do not whiff. You do not hesitate. You do not think. You go and get him. Listen, even if Porzingis is on the table, I'm not giving up. If we have to give up Porzingis, Knox will have to stay. I'd rather keep Knox in that deal. But if Porzingis has to go, I will do it.
So you'd sooner trade Porzingis than Knox?
No, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because with Porzingis, I don't know. I want him to come back healthy. I believe that he's gonna come back healthy, but I have to be realistic here. I don't know if Porzingis was gonna lure Kyrie or Kevin Durant here, but I damn sure know if Anthony Davis come here, there is a 50-50 chance I could get Kyrie, because when I watch Kyrie, I don't want Kemba because I'm not paying him over $100 million.
But with Anthony Davis,
and that's what no. What he got? No. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you the difference between him and Kyrie. Kemba is not too far from what Kyrie does, but Kyrie, I've seen it. Teams fear him. Like when you watch him, teams fear him. There's games that I watch with Kyrie where he jogs throughout the first 3 quarters of the game. In the first 3 quarters, he will show defenders that, yeah, I'm still here. Like he plays around with them.
Right.
And then for some odd reason, every fourth quarter, the game just comes to him in a superstar way. And when I mean there's not a soul that can stop this man offensively in this league, Golden State is afraid of him. Kyrie is a different beast, and his numbers are efficient. And every time I seen him in the playoff, he elevates. He goes up. There's not a defense in this world that can stop him offensively. And if you want to win a championship or to be even close to Golden State, you have to have that offensive firepower.
I agree.
It's Kyrie Irving.
I agree with you. I mean, everybody that says everybody, and me and you both know.
Lillard.
You and me both know. We're both Knicks fans. We love defense. I mean, that's why you're a proponent of Neil Keane and giving him a chance. But in today's NBA, if your backcourt ain't putting up points, you're not winning.
Yeah, and this is the thing with Frank. This is the thing, and what I was watching tonight with the Kadeem, I was explaining people, when you have the guards that push the pace in the game, look how offense looked good before we smoked out on the fourth quarter. We was pushing the ball. Knox was running. How do you think Knox got all his points? Because he wasn't thinking too much. He was just going. This is something I realized with Knox. To keep him engaged in games, you have to have a style of pace for him to play. Then he's more in the game. If you have a slowing guard, and this is what I was arguing with him when I'm talking about pushing the tempo, there was a different pace tonight. There's a pace. If you don't play with pace with these players that we have that want to run, Dotson want to run, Tim wants to run. Kevin Knox's game right now, he has to run to be into the game, or else we're going to get every night? The fadeaway Kevin Knox. And I hate watching it. He was more engaged. Even with the guy coming over from the D-League. Look how he's pushing the pace.
Right.
And he was playing defense better than our guards.
I love it. I just, every time I talk to you.
Did you see the defense with Mitchell Robinson? That was the fifth defense there. Blitz defense.
Are you a Mitch fan?
No. I was very high on Mitch because that was a Steelers draft. Why? Because he has Anthony Davis defensive instincts. When you watch him,
he's still so, and I know he's still young, and he still has a lot of developing to do, but he looks lost out there right now.
Listen, there was one play where he blitzed one of the guards, right? And he went up too high. But when the guard passed the ball, I swear to God, he was at the rim at 0.1 second. His recovery time, just think about when he gets used to the pace of the game. He's flying all over the floor. That's what I want in my big man. Right. His instincts are there defensively. He wants to play defense. He's there listen. I'm just hoping that these teams avoid the Lakers, because if Anthony Davis arrive here, we have a chance at Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving. Because why? Anthony Davis is more of a superstar and someone Kevin Durant can rely on. Because Kevin Durant's not coming here if you don't have somebody to rely on. That's why when you watch him in Golden State, look how easy he plays. Look how many easy buckets.
Now I know how passionate we both are about getting Davis, but do you think it's realistic he's going to come here? Because a lot of people think the Lakers.
Oh, let me tell you something. The Lakers, because of him being with Clutch, but the Knicks is on his list, bro. Like he didn't say.
All right, well, let me ask you this though: let's not think like Knicks fans. Let's put ourselves in the New Orleans Pelicans GM's chair.
Okay, go ahead.
who's going to be able to offer me more? I think the Knicks can offer more if they're
No,
willing
I'm gonna tell you why the Knicks can offer more. That number
the
one
draft
pick.
The draft pick.
That draft pick, and what people not understanding why I said if we get number one pick, either way, if we don't get Anthony Davis, right, and we picked up Zion, I could use Zion in so many ways to other teams. I could dangle him because guess what? Any arena that he arrives, he's selling tickets. Zion is selling tickets.
Blake Griffin.
So, yes, he's selling tickets. That's why when New Orleans is going to ask for that one pick because guess what? Pelicans, after they lose Anthony Davis, even though they wasn't selling tickets there, Zion's going to be able to keep it afloat with the assets they get. Because he's going to sell tickets no matter where he goes. And that's why I said I would have used Zion as getting more assets if I kept this team intact. Because you know who's really, he could be number 2. And he's better than RJ. This Morant kid, I was watching his games. Boy, oh boy.
I'm getting a lot of love. And I knew I would. I would because Who's Mark is the man. And I knew I'd get a lot of love. And we're gonna have you back. We're gonna have you back on the channel. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna make this more organized. I'm gonna have an NBA show. I'm gonna have an NFL show. I'm gonna have an MLB show.
He could be number 2. I'm not gonna lie to you. He could be number 2.
We are gonna start an NBA show, and I'm gonna have Who's Mark on it. So whenever you can, obviously. I know you got a schedule, but whenever Who's Mark wants to come on, you will be on the show.
See, let me know what your schedule is, and then I'll try to make it open for you. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this Morant kid, he could be number 2 because his relentlessness, his pace to the game. When I'm watching his college games, he is taking the games. By the way,
thank you so much, Joe Musa, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
He is taking the games.
Right.
He is taking the games, and this ain't no fluke with him. Like, this is no fluke. And he's a playmaker. It's not like he's going out there getting 30 points and just like, you know, like them under the basket assists. He's making playmaking assists to make his team better. And I could just imagine him just pushing the pace. With this team, with
the thing about Anthony Davis that really excites me, this guy grew up a point guard. A lot of people don't realize that. This guy's a 6'10" monster who has the ability to dribble like a point guard. He's the most versatile player in the league.
Entertainer, on God, if we was able to keep Porzingis with him to have that backcourt defensively and offensively,
you're not scoring.
Teams are gonna go crazy because guess what? They could both pick and roll and dive. One could shoot the lights out when he's hot. One is still a threat offensively. Honestly, Anthony Davis can get a bucket anytime he wants. Because when I measure up players, I measure up how they give Golden State havoc. And he gives them havoc because he gets to switch. He can switch on anybody. Anthony Davis can switch on anybody. On anybody.
No, he could get, well, he can guard 2 through 5. He guard 2 through 5.
I think he could stay. I think he could stay with point guards, bro. Not consistently.
Not Steph Curry.
Not Steph Curry in those ways because with Curry, it's because how he moved without the ball. That's what makes him the best player.
Getting this guy, if they could ever get this guy, and it's still a dream.
It's still a long shot. If
they could get this guy, it fits this position basketball perfectly. I mean, you've got Porzingis who's versatile. You got Anthony Davis who's versatile. If you could bring in, I don't know, a Knox is versatile. I mean, they'd have so many interchangeable parts. Then you try to bring in, like you said, a Kyrie Irving, a Kemba Walker, a point guard. I know you don't want Kemba, but a point guard.
Because at that price, that he's not that. You know what he is? He's like where Kyle Lowry is. You get what I'm saying?
All right, but let me ask you this. Say it's Kemba Walker. I know you want Kyrie in this scenario, but say it's Kemba Walker. Can this team win a championship if you were able to keep these pieces in place? Porzingis if he's healthy. Anthony Davis, Kevin Knox, Kemba Walker, and I don't know. We'll say we acquire a veteran via free agency to fill in the rest of the, and then you still have Mitch on the team and whatever else. But.
Yeah, we could be a finals team if it's like that. If it's like that, we could be a finals team because of Anthony Davis. But everything, it scares me because I just want to see Porzingis play, bro. Like I just want to see where he's at, how he moves. I don't question his motor. I don't question his.
Well, you're the biggest Porzingis fan I know. Every
because
time we talk.
Yeah, because I've seen him play. I've seen his skill set, and I know what he's capable of. And he's like I keep telling people, well, y'all not understanding. He's a far ahead of his development. His development is he's by far it. People had him 4 years. 4 years. He was good at his third year. So when you judge players when they're coming out of college or when they're coming out of high school, there's a 4-year clock that if they're going to be a special player or a premium player or just a role player. And Porzingis, his first year, showed you, okay, this kid is not afraid to playing defense. That's why we all loved him. Right. It wasn't his offense his first year. It was how relentless he was.
I was shocked. I thought we were getting this soft European that wasn't going to be blocking shots.
Soft, no.
Yeah, and he came in, and you said, wow.
It's his body that his first 2 years is his body that resisted him for being like more tough. He couldn't withstand the other players because they're much stronger than him. Right. And I told people, give him 2, 3, 4 years to get his body. That's how I feel about Mitch when he fills out, because he's going to fill out wonderful. If you look at his frame, wait till he put on muscles. So with Porzingis' second year, he showed you a little bit of scoring. He showed you a little bit of everything, but he's playing behind Carmelo and Derrick Rose. But his third year, when he went overseas, and I watched every single overseas game, and the offense that he was running in, you have to have the right players with him. When you watch Doncic, right, and you watch how they play.
That guy, how good do you think Doncic is going to be?
No, he already has the it factor. That's the it factor. But the thing why Dallas was a great team for him, they have a system. They have a system, and they have certain players that fit his style of game. Now, when you get the players that fit Porzingis' style of game, the shooters, the point guard play, which we don't have. What people not understanding something, we don't have point guard play. We haven't
had a point guard since I've been alive.
We don't have it. And this keeping this Moutier, no. And you know what's so crazy? It's to a point. As much as people talk about Lonzo, he is way better than Moutier. Because when Lonzo is aggressive, he is surpassingly defensively better than Moutier.
One thing I'll say about Lonzo Ball, as ugly as his jump shot is, as inconsistent as he is offensively, what he has that Frank doesn't, he has confidence.
And the thing is, he knows how to command the offense, play with pace.
He's a natural point guard. Natural point guard.
Listen, I'm looking for a guard to play with pace. I'm not into this. We don't have the team to play a half court system. When teams force us into half court, and that's what the Charlotte Hornets did tonight in the fourth quarter. They locked down defensively, man to man, and they forced us to play half court. And that's why I said, if you don't have a point guard that know how to control pace and move the ball with pace, we suck offensively in a half court set. But if you watch the first half and in the third quarter, we played with a pace where we was able to get easy buckets. We was able to shoot the ball without thinking. Now, when teams force us to make us think, that's when we become terrible offensively. So when people keep telling me, when we had that argument that night at the Knicks game, when Sim talking about Frank, he's not that type of point guard. But guess what? Listen, anywhere he goes, he has to be able to push the ball.
I'm getting to the point now, and I hate to say it because I love Sim. I love everybody over on that channel. But I'm getting to the point now where I don't think Frank's the guy. I don't think Frank's going to be a vital piece for this team. His ceiling to me is Marcus Smart. Or
it's not even that, because I'm going to tell you why. Because what makes Marcus Smart so freaking valuable, and he is Celtics' most important.
Thank you so much for the super chat. I don't mean to interrupt you. I just always got to say that. Yeah. Thank you so much for the super chat, Detonator. Says, I got to go. It was fun stream. Keep it up. Go Jets. Thank you so much, Detonator. And I already said, after the stream, I'm definitely giving him a wrench. But go ahead, Mark.
Marcus Smart is so vital to that Celtics team defensively because he plays with a certain aggression. Frank don't play with an aggression. It might seem like that, but he don't play with aggression like Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart wills himself onto people.
Right.
He wills himself onto people.
As you always say, he's a dog. I mean, he's not scared. He's coming in there. He's going to be feisty. He's going to fight.
And
yeah,
what makes Marcus Smart better than him, he can play make. He can push pace. He might not be the best shooter, but he can knock down a shot. But guess what? He plays with a pace. He pushes the ball. He makes smart passes. I cannot have a point guard that don't attack the paint, bro. If you don't have a point guard to attack the paint, how the hell are we gonna get shooters open?
Well, that's the NBA now. Everything's pick and roll. Everything's getting penetration in the paint and kicking out to the 3-point shooter. If you don't have a point guard that can penetrate, you're not gonna score.
But that's always been the NBA game. You need a point guard that knows how to put pressure onto the defense.
Of course.
We don't put teams into a disadvantage on defense. If you ever watch when teams go against us, they man up. They don't double.
The one thing I'll say though that I was so excited about when we got Frank, because everyone was talking about his defense.
It's good.
He is good defensively, but when we watched the Knicks before we got Frank, every time an opposing point guard, what was his name? The guy that we got, the Spanish guy that we got for Tyson Chandler, the point guard. What the hell was his name? He sucked, but whatever his name. You would see point guards like that just get into the paint at will. I mean, every time down the floor.
When you have people like T.J. McCollum, Ish Smith, point guards like that killing us, that just tells you what our point guard play look like. And the reason why Frank's pick and roll defense was so elite is because he had Porzingis defensively. And what people not understanding is that Porzingis cover a lot of space. He makes teams alter shots.
Right.
He might not get a block, but he alters at 7-3. Right. That's how important that two tandem was.
And that doesn't show up in the box score.
That doesn't show up in the box score. And I like Frank, but bro, listen, bro. You know what you have to do when you come into this league. Remember, this is a job. If you ain't gonna try to get good, I'm sorry. There's another player that's willing to do better than you, and you have to show a level of a little bit of development. It's either you go out and take it, or you just play your game and not be in the league. He's a below average guard. Right. If you go look at his numbers, it's below. He's in the. I never knew he was in the 400 tile.
His player efficiency ranking is like 5.
Bro,
it's unheard of.
Bro,
and
don't tell me it's it's him.
Well, there comes a point where you're making excuses for a player, and I feel like we're getting to that point now.
And that's when I'm on that stream, people be looking like I'm crazy, but how many games do I have to watch to keep proving it to y'all? Look when Knox is playing with pace. He scores easily. He makes faster decisions offensively because that's what he is right now. He's an offensive player that needs to run because he don't have the ability to dribble properly. He dribbles with his right hand. He can't go left to right yet if y'all watch him.
Yeah.
He can't.
Joe Moose has got a quick question for you. He says, who's your football team?
Anybody but Tom Brady. As long as Tom Brady don't. But I like the Giants. Anybody. I go against anybody. Anybody it's like with LeBron. Anybody that go against LeBron, I like them for now. But Giants is my team. But I don't like Tom Brady.
I'm sick. I mean, he's great, but I'm sick of him too.
And what kills me is like when I watch Kyrie in Boston, it just doesn't fit him. It's that Kyrie don't look like he should be in green. It don't look right. It don't look right.
Right.
And I feel like if we keep Anthony Davis, because they said that they created a friendship during the U.S. team, and they was talking about teaming up. And the funny thing is, what you're not understanding is that Kyrie got traded to Boston because he didn't want to.
Right.
He didn't want. What was his 4 teams? Could you tell me what was his 4 teams? If you remember.
Who? Kyrie?
Yeah, the 4 teams that he wanted to go to.
I mean, this is 3 years ago. I can't remember.
It was the Timberwolves, it was the Spurs, it was the Knicks, and I believe it was the.
He wanted to go to the. Well, I guess the Timberwolves.
Miami.
The Timberwolves at that point had a team that people thought could win. Yeah, with Thibodeau and Cat.
If Kyrie would have went to play with Cat and Wiggins, that team would have been viable. Because Kyrie is just on another. He's he's an ascending superstar. When you watch him, when he carries himself, bro, it's amazing to watch how the game just comes to him now.
Right.
It's amazing.
Curry's clutch. We've seen it in the playoffs. He's got that killer instinct. He's one of the top 3 or 4 point guards in the league. What you worry about is his injuries. I mean, the guy has had knee problems.
Yeah, that is a big thing. But would you rather him than some subpar point guard?
Of course. But you and I both know as Knicks fans, injury history doesn't usually work out with us, especially when it's knees. McDice, Amari Stoudemire, and I know it's a different position.
It's like this. It's like this. Would you take Curry even with those injury histories? It's just one of them things.
But you're gambling though, because you're giving the guy max deal.
Yeah, but it's like they gamble giving him 205 knowing his injuries. But you just don't get players like that. Curry's what people don't understand something. He's a transcendent superstar. He's not an all-star. He's a transcending superstar, meaning that he create culture. He can get anybody to come play with him. Like what Curry is doing right now is secretly he's secretly ruining the game, ruining other teams. He's making teams do dumb decisions and are going for players and paying players.
Joe Musa, I don't mean to interrupt you. Joe Musa just subscribed to you. He doesn't even have it. Sir Cardinal, sub him up, by the way. He's a good basketball YouTuber. But they just subbed you up. You don't even have a YouTube channel. I've been telling Mark now for months. I've been telling him he's got to get a YouTube channel.
Let me tell him. And it's like, you just don't let players like that. That's transcendent ability. You don't get those those are very rare. And for Anthony Davis to come off like that, you don't see it. You don't see it, bro. It's mostly those B+ stars. This is an A+ star. This is an A+ star.
A+? I say A.
He's an A. You're right. Because to me, I would take Curry before I take Anthony Davis.
You take Curry. Yeah, you take Curry.
I don't care what anybody says. Because one thing with Curry, he's able to have superstars play with them, and
he's unguardable. He's
unguardable, and his best attribute is that he allowed superstars play their game.
You gotta take Westbrook above him too, right?
Who?
Kyrie.
Nah, I take Kyrie before I take Russell.
You take Kyrie
I love
over
Russell.
Westbrook?
Listen, entertainer. I'm telling y'all right now, with Kyrie Irving, remember I couldn't root for him because he was playing with LeBron, but I liked him.
Right.
But I gained so much respect for him. It's to a point when he has the ball in my hand, it's like I pedal back when I watch him. Like when I was watching Golden State, I was afraid that Golden State was about to lose that game him.
Let me ask you this. I know Kyrie's got the crossover, he's got the quick first step. When Wall was healthy, who do you think was quicker? Who do you think was better at getting in the lane? I always thought John Wall, before he gained the weight and the injury problems, I always thought he was the quickest. I mean, that guy was incredible.
He like on a coast to coast, he was probably one of the quickest. Like early John Wall, he's probably one of the quickest. But you know who I put in front of him? And prime D Rose, man. Listen.
Oh God, yeah.
Listen, y'all talk about Russell Westbrook. Yeah, talk about
was a beast.
And the thing with Derrick Rose that he does better than all those guards, he know how to change pace when he's coming down the lane. Like meaning that if a defender is in front of him, he know how to change his speed within that fast break. John Wall is just is from
0 to 60 straight
0 to 60 straight line.
Yeah.
But Derrick Rose had change of pace. That's what made him
Derrick Rose, it is a
he
shame.
He was mini Braun because there was not a soul stopping him from getting to the rim. No one was
fit perfectly for Thibodeau in that Bulls team.
No one, because he had a worth ethic, and he was another transcendent star. He was another transcendent star.
People forget he won the MVP. He won the MVP 5 years ago, right? 6 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, and he deserved it because why? Carlos Boozer got hurt. People forgot Noah got hurt, and he was it was game winners from night to night, and he was just taking games over, bro. It was it kills me. It kills me to watch him the last 5 years because I was such a freaking Like the way I am with Curry right now, that's how I was with D Rose. I loved it, D Rose from.
And he had a nice comeback this year.
No, because you know what it is. He had to find his game. That's what it was, and he's not injured.
Right.
He's not injured anymore. So
well, he didn't play. I mean, he didn't play horrible with the Knicks. People think he played horrible.
No, he played real efficient. But the thing is with the Knicks, we were so horrible because all the players we had, it didn't fit. It just didn't fit.
No, it was. I mean, my God. But
oh God,
no, it might be the worst contract in Knicks history, and we're gonna be paying him for another 2 years after this year, which is a disgrace. But I think I'm gonna wrap this up soon. But I will say this, and I knew they would. Seems like I don't know if people are still in here, but Mark is always a fan favorite. I love who's Mark.
What people don't understand, the Lakers deal ain't good enough because guess what?
Still talking basketball. I love it.
But because I have to say this because people think it's going to be the Lakers. Kuzma is a good player, but he's not going to be a star player. You know, he's one of them. I always say he's one of them overconfident players that you have to watch out in a playoff game because he could get you 30.
I think he's just a good, not even a great, a good.
He's a good
third
player.
Option on a good team.
Good. He's like a third or fourth. Good. He's a good third. He could be a good third on some nights behind two megastars, but he's decent enough. But he ain't someone that's gonna change your life.
No.
Ingram's game. I still believe in Ingram because he still has a skill set. He can shoot, dribble, and pass. And you don't get much people that could do that. And he's very aggressive. This thing that people talk about, he's not aggressive. He's aggressive. It's just that he's playing with Braun, and people want to make excuses. I'm telling you, this LeBron James effect. This is why I can't stand LeBron James fans. And then with Lonzo, he's not playing up to par where teams thought he was gonna be. So it lessens their talent. So I don't think New Orleans. Everything depends on New Orleans. New Orleans don't have to rush to trade Anthony Davis. They don't have to. They could wait. They could wait to see what our pick is.
Right.
They could. I think it's either the Boston they're waiting for, and ours because ours we have a sweet deal. We have a sweet deal.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see how this works out. I don't think the trade will happen this year in season if it happens.
No.
I think because they're going to want to wait to see what pick we get, whoever gets that first pick, if they want Anthony Davis, I think they're going to have the first crack.
Because even if we had the second pick, they just want our pick because they know it's the top three. We're going to be in the top three.
Well, that's not a guarantee with the new lottery rules.
What? No, I'm saying because where we at in the loss column, we tied up with Chicago.
Well, no, we're definitely going to be in the top three.
Chances. Either way. If we get 1 to 3, if we stay in the third, even if we stay in the third spot, we have a chance to be 1, 2, or 3, regardless. We are a top lottery team. We are a top lottery team because guess what? Teams are just better than us, and we're gonna just keep losing because we don't have the offensive power.
And at this point, I'm convinced that they're trying to lose. I mean,
no, you know the thing is, I don't even think they try to lose.
I don't think the players are trying to lose, but I think Fizdale, without saying it, is putting out player. He's not playing, and I'm not. You and me both know I'm not a Cantor guy. I hate his defense, but Cantor should be playing. I mean,
no, but the thing is, if you look at tonight and how the defense was running tonight. That's what Fizdale implemented, and Cantor slow us down.
He does.
He's belligerent on defense, man. He
does, but you can't tell me with a straight face that Cantor shouldn't be getting some minutes on this team. If you were trying to win games.
Guess what? He knew what his spot was before even starting. You want that $18 million? That's what your $18 million gets you. You could have went somewhere else and played. You want to sit here? You want to take that $18 million? You're going to sit because guess what? You're not helping us.
Well, they're developing.
But you're not helping the young guys develop on the defensive end because they have to worry about you not making your spots. You're not doing it. Jokic is not even a good defender, but guess what? When I watch Jokic, he puts himself into places where he needs to be. There's an effort. There's no effort with Cantor. It's only offensively and defensive rebounding. That's what. But defensively, where he's not moving his feet or positioning himself correctly, you don't have to play great defense. But everything is about positioning when you can't play defense. Okay.
Right.
And when I watch Mitchell Robinson, it just makes our defense look better. No one can tell me when you see Mitch Robinson blitzing plays tonight. Like you didn't smile. Every time I watch Mitchell Robinson, I just smile because It's like
who does he remind you of? Like let's be realistic.
Listen,
don't tell me
no,
Anthony Davis.
Okay, no, listen. He's very raw. He is so raw. The reason why I say Anthony Davis, I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you watch Anthony Davis in college, he did not have this offensive talent. Go watch Anthony Davis.
No, I remember him in college. But
when he came in the league,
I think he's Camby. That's who he reminds me of.
He could be Camby. That's a good one. Or you know who he could be too? He could be Tyson Chandler.
That's not a bad one either. I mean,
but that all depends on if his body develops. When his body develops, he could be Tyson Chandler because guess what? Tyson Chandler was able to fly around the place, and this is what you want in your center. You want a center that can fly with everybody, that makes the right defensive plays. And when I watch him, he's learning every time he's on the court. I like when he's on the floor, no matter if he slips up, because you know what? There's an effort with him. There's an effort. When I watch him, he works the hardest on the floor. He does.
By the way, I see some of my subscribers just pop back in. This is Who's Mark. I am going to have him back on the channel. He is a fan favorite. He is the most passionate Knick fan I know. We had some Knick news. He has to call in. The lines are not open. We're closing this out in like 2 minutes. I went overtime because Who's Mark called in. I love Who's Mark. And
I'm sorry.
Anytime I get a chance to work with Who's Mark, I do.
Hold on. And Jeremy Wright too. He could be Capella because Capella is a force. I'm not gonna hold you. Capella is a force. He's really good.
Do you agree with the contract he got though?
Who?
Capella.
Yeah, because you know why? He changes. When you watch Capella, he does the things look, you don't have to worry about him being disgruntled because he knows his role. And when you watch him on that Houston team, he impacts the game. You give me a player that impacts the game, and offensively, he's really good. Defensively, he can guard guards. If you go watch that Houston,
and in today's NBA, that's imperative. I mean, you
need
players like that.
What he did to Golden State was no fluke. The reason why Houston really lost because they missed all those threes, guys. But defensively, they took them out all of Golden State sets. Capella is a force. I didn't think he was going to be this good. He is a force, and they paid him that was a good price. $80 million. What was it? 80?
Capella, I think he got like over 20 a year. I know that.
Okay, yeah, because he's just like Gobert. They just changed the landscape of your defense.
That's a good comparison, Rudy Gobert.
They changed. Listen, you would want to have Gobert.
Gobert's a little better defensively, though. I mean, Gobert's a beast.
I put Capella right up there because guess what? When Capella's on that floor, The thing with Gobert, what he can't do, he cannot guard the perimeter.
That's a good point.
He cannot.
Gobert's
if you watch,
Gobert's more like a Tyson Chandler.
Yeah, he stays in the radius of the paint. Capella will come up to you and guard you. Like, he will guard you. I've seen him guard Kevin. I've seen him do it. It's mind blowing how good he is for $80 million. And that was the thing before we go. The way Houston got him to get on that salary is they let other teams try to bid on him. No teams bid on him. So they was able to give him the right deal, and that was the right deal. I wouldn't pay Capella over $100 million. No, he's not that type of player.
I'm going to tell you this right now because we are going to have to wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
I don't want to take anything away from Sim's channel because I know you're a part of his channel. You help him out.
I'm going to help all the way out, man.
Whenever he's not on, and Sim's only on Nights of Knick games, so I'm going to have you on to talk. I mean, when you're on, I'm going to talk mainly NBA because that's your passion.
Even if you on it with Sim, even when you on with him, just hit me up because I don't necessarily be in the.
No, I'm going to get your number before we leave. I'm going to get your number. And I'm going to have you write it in the notes. I'm going to have you on. One night, we're going to talk hoops. I'm going to have you on for a special show before the trade deadline. We'll talk hoops.
Yeah, I'm trying to get your views up to where Sim is at.
And we got to get you. We got to get you a channel. I've been saying that for months.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the rant, guys, but I had to get this off my chest because I was when my brain gets crazy. Sometimes I have to speak. Like, I just have to speak.
But I've met Who's Mark twice in person. I absolutely love this guy, and everything you see is what you get. He is the most passionate basketball fan I've ever met.
And Taylor, people thought it was a fluke that I act different in person. I act the same, bro. like people was questioning if I was fake in real life. Like, for real. For real. And when I went to the second one, what was so funny is that, you remember when I kept saying in the chat, everybody keep their energy?
Yeah.
There were certain people that was there that didn't keep their energy. There were certain people that was, and some of them was afraid to talk to me, bro. Like, I understand. I'm type of like I can type of like make people be shy, because I seen Guamo for the first time. That boy was shy to talk to me, man.
He was a tall dude.
Yo,
but you know what? Yvonne's not a basketball fan.
Yeah.
I don't know how knowledgeable. I know obviously basketball is your passion. That's what you're most knowledgeable about.
I'm current with football.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. I gotta figure it out because I'm having some YouTubers on this week. I'm trying to help them out. One day this week before the Super Bowl, we're gonna have to figure out a time. I'm gonna have you on. We're gonna talk about the Super Bowl.
You wanna email me? Email me too. Hold on. I'm gonna write it in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's Sir Cardinal. This guy. I'm telling you right now. I talk to a lot of hoops.
Wait, hold on. You know what I tell you? I'm the black Italian. Just put it like that, because as animated as Italians
are. Wait. What's the nickname you call me again? Ravioli?
My ravioli brother.
Ravioli brother, yeah.
Because lasagna is my favorite dish. So, I love the Italians. Some of them go the other way, but I love Italians. I love the authenticness y'all have with people and stuff like that, how authentic y'all are, and y'all don't really like shy away from yourselves and y'all culture and how you display yourself. That's why I like it. And I like aggressive people. I like people with energy and character.
I couldn't tell that, Mark.
Yeah. So
I'm just messing with you.
I'm the black Italian. So when I come to this chat, I want y'all to write in the chat the black Italians here. All right. I'm the black Italian because I love lasagna.
Whose Mark is the man? I'm gonna have you put it in. You know what? There's a chat in Skype.
I just put. Oh, okay. Let me do that. There.
Yeah, you can put it in Skype. That way you don't gotta put it in the chat.
I already put it in the chat.
Oh, you put it in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, it's my dummy email, so you don't. I don't.
By the way, I see the Waterboy report popped in. Another great channel. If you haven't done so, sub him up. What did you put it in the comments or the chat?
The chat.
I don't see it.
Hold on. Let me write it again. Because listen, man, I want to help all these platforms because I love entertaining. I love expressing myself. It's kind of a being from New York. You work all day and it's just everything's a hustle, and you need some time to just express yourself, man. Nowadays things are so PC. Everybody's so offended at everything. Like, Jesus Christ.
No, man, I'm really looking forward to having you on the channel. Like I said, I don't want to hurt Sim's channel, so I want to have you on a night where it's I don't want to take anything away from his channel, but I want to have you on a night where he's not on.
Yeah, well, like, why you don't stream sometimes when Sim streams?
The reason is I'm in an apartment building, and I don't want to be screaming at 12 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd be there. Otherwise, I'd be there all the time.
Okay. Oh, cause you close. Oh, you live like next door to people.
Yeah. My.
The damn Brooklyn walls, man. They
sleep right there.
Okay.
But yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get your email in this chat here. But I'm gonna close it out, guys. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm gonna give you a wrench. Don't worry about that, Joe. I'm gonna go back and give a few people wrenches. Thank you guys for being a part of the channel.
Yeah, I'm sorry for taking over the show, guys. If the chat didn't like it, but I
think you're a fan favorite. I think people love you.
I just had to y'all not understanding right now what could happen for the Knicks. We could be finals contention next year. That fast.
Like that. Fast. But have a good night, guys, and thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll talk soon. Have a good night, guys.